Warrior Lore. Chapter 2140. Gu Fei had successfully killed the fiendish demon that had escaped from the well. This scene shocked the golden goddess to the extreme. She couldn't believe it. It should be known that this fiendish demon was extremely powerful. Even though it had been suppressed for countless years and its vitality was damaged, its saint-level physical body was still the real deal. Moreover, this was the body of a true demon. This kind of physique was much stronger than an ordinary saint-level physical body. Even if a real saint attacked, it would be difficult for them to injure the body of a true demon. Gu Fei definitely had a great weapon in his hands. This weapon could easily split the body of a true demon in half. Could it be a supreme divine weapon? The golden goddess was shocked. Rumble. At this moment, the mountain and river cauldron in the distance started shaking. Primordial chaos circled above the ancient cauldron. A powerful wave of life came out from the cauldron. It's done. Gu Fei's mind trembled. Inside the ancient cauldron, a supreme skull floated in the internal space of the mountain and river cauldron, emitting endless divine light. A flame-shaped life imprint flickered with the light of life in the glabella of the supreme skull. Supreme Tao patterns faintly appeared on the skull. Supreme being Tao patterns interweaved, triggering a powerful wave of power, sealing up the supreme being skull. When Gu Fei arrived in front of the mountain and river cauldron, the evolution of life in the supreme skull had already ended. Gu Fei's clone had successfully destroyed the other powerful life imprints in the supreme skull. A figure sat cross-legged in the supreme skull. Countless Tao patterns bloomed all over his body. A powerful wave of life spread out from this figure. What's going on? Gu Fei's clone wanted to leave the supreme skull, but he discovered that the entire internal space of the skull had been sealed by a force. Damn it! In the internal space of the supreme skull, Gu Fei's clone roared angrily. This supreme skull was indeed strange. An unknown powerful existence had used the supreme skull to set up a trap. What ghost Tao essence? That was just an illusion. Someone was using the Paragon skull to nurture powerful life seals. Those life seals were constantly being repaired until they became complete life seals. After that, the inextinguishable soul flame within the supreme being skull continued to devour these complete life imprints to strengthen itself. Gu Fei figured out a lot of things that he didn't understand before. The person who set up this trap was really generous. Could it be that the person was actually another supreme being? Thinking of this, Gu Fei couldn't help but feel a chill run down his spine. If this was really the work of a supreme being, then it would be extraordinary. The means of a supreme being were unimaginable. Rumble. At this moment, the supreme skull underwent another change. Countless supreme Tao runes actually triggered a wisp of the supreme sovereign's power, which rushed towards Gu Fei's clone. Gu Fei couldn't help but be shocked. This was like a fattened prey. Since it was fattened, then it should be slaughtered and eaten. Now, Gu Fei's clone trapped in the supreme skull was like a fattened prey. The person who set up this trap back then was going to slaughter this prey. How dare you? After Gu Fei understood all this, he hurriedly sat in front of the cauldron of mountain and river and guided the power of the cauldron towards the supreme skull. You want to plot against me? Humph! Gu Fei used all his strength to guide the power of the cauldron of mountain and river. An illusion of an ancient cauldron appeared above the supreme skull and then pressed down on it. Buzz! The supreme skull vibrated and supreme Tao runes appeared. Countless Tao runes intertwined and formed an illusory figure that stood up from the supreme skull. Boom! The figure punched upwards and directly hit the cauldron of mountain and river. It actually blocked the illusion of the cauldron. Gu Fei was extremely shocked. The Tao runes on the supreme skull could actually evolve into a human figure. This was really shocking to him. What was going on? All this happened in the cauldron of mountain and river. Other than Gu Fei, no one else could sense such a shocking change. This was already beyond Gu Fei's understanding. At this time, he could finally sense an extremely weak soul wave coming from the supreme skull. Kill. Inside the sovereign's skull, Gu Fei's avatar had devoured the other life imprints. His life force was extremely powerful. He directly charged towards the depths of this space. There was a ball of sovereign's inextinguishable soul fire there. The inextinguishable soul fire was beating and had become very weak. It seemed like it would be extinguished in the next moment. However, just as Gu Fei's clone approached the soul fire suddenly became vigorous and a figure walked out of the soul fire. After waiting for so many years, the opportunity for rebirth has finally appeared. A weak wave of divine will spread out from the figure. This, Gu Fei's clone was truly shocked. He immediately understood that inside the supreme skull, there was still a strand of Ji Zun's soul. This strand of Ji Zun's soul must be in a special state. It was completely silent inside the supreme skull, which was why he could not sense the existence of this strand of Ji Zun's soul. This is troublesome. Gu Fei's clone couldn't help but feel nervous. Ji Zun's methods were far too heaven-defying. His corpse had already turned into a skeleton, but his soul still did not dissipate and was waiting to be reborn. Your fruit of Wei, I want it. Die. Gu Fei's clone did not hesitate. His opponent was Ji Zun, and he did not retreat. He immediately used the heaven-encompassing hand and slapped the figure in front of him. An extremely powerful energy fluctuation spread out, and a huge palm descended from the sky, completely enveloping the mysterious figure under it. To Gu Fei, this strand of Ji Zun's soul was the fruit of Wei. If he could successfully devour this strand of soul, he would obtain a part of Ji Zun's memory. This was very important to Gu Fei. Perhaps he could find a way to become a saint from Ji Zun's memory. Boom! Ji Zun's soul moved. Then, the entire space inside the supreme skull began to shake violently. It was as if an unparalleled heavenly beast was awakening inside the skull. Bang! The heaven-encompassing hand that Gu Fei's clone used exploded. Then, a palm pierced through the clone in an instant and sent him flying. He was almost destroyed and suffered a great impact. Too strong. Ji Zun is Ji Zun. Even though he only has a weak strand of soul left, he is still unimaginably strong. Chapter 2141. Gu Fei had barged into a trap set up by a Ji. This was something that Gu Fei had never expected. Rumble. Inside the mountain and river cauldron, the primordial chaos chi surged. The silhouette of an ancient cauldron continued to press down on the sovereign's skull. A power that could suppress the heavens erupted. However, the silhouette that was condensed from the sovereign's skull was also extremely powerful. It was able to resist the power of the mountain and river cauldron, which shocked Gu Fei to the extreme. The aura of a supreme sovereign seeped out from the silhouette. If this wasn't happening inside the mountain and river cauldron, but in the outside world, the entire dark ghost world would have been destroyed by this sovereign's aura. Even with the suppression of the mountain and river cauldron, Gu Fei, who was sitting cross-legged before the mountain and river cauldron, still felt a great pressure that made his heart palpitate. Even someone as strong as him couldn't resist the aura of a sovereign. It was hard to imagine how powerful a real sovereign would be. You want to be reborn? Unfortunately, you've met me. Thinking that he had been tricked, Gu Fei couldn't help but be shocked and angry. However, he hadn't completely lost yet. Although his opponent was a sovereign, he still had a trump card. The mountain and river cauldron that can suppress the 9 heavens and 10 earths? In the space inside the sovereign's skull, the silhouette that walked out from the sovereign's soul fire sent out a divine sense. The divine sense fluctuated intensely. It was obvious that the silhouette was also extremely shocked. The aura of a sovereign divine tool couldn't be imitated. The divine sense of a sovereign knew that it was inside a sovereign divine cauldron. There was only one ancient cauldron in the world that could be this mystical, the mountain and river cauldron. This was something that the sovereign didn't expect. The appearance of the mountain and river cauldron had changed the entire situation. This kind of change was difficult for even a sovereign to control. This is, at this time, on the Berry Sky ancestral star, the night had already receded. Gu Zhong and the others were looking for traces of Gu Fei. At this moment, they felt an incomparably powerful fluctuation. It's the aura of the mountain and river cauldron. Gu Zhong was overjoyed when he sensed this fluctuation. Then, they rushed towards the source of the fluctuation and disappeared into the yellow sand. What is Gu Fei doing? Could it be that he's in trouble? In the distant sky, The golden goddess didn't dare to approach because the aura coming from the mountain and river cauldron and the other aura coming from the mountain and river cauldron made her feel very uneasy. At this time, Gu Fei no longer hesitated. He opened his mouth and spat out a flying sword that emitted a purple-gold divine light. That flying sword directly rushed into the mountain and river cauldron. Swoosh! Just as the purple-gold flying sword rushed into the mountain and river cauldron, a ball of divine light wrapped around a heaven blade. It rushed out of Gu Fei's dantian and also entered the mountain and river cauldron. "I'll fight you to the death." Gu Fei was determined. He used the other two supreme divine weapons, the purple-gold divine sword and the peerless ominous saber. That is, in the distant sky, the eyes of the golden goddess, who had been staring at Gu Fei, lit up. Was that the supreme divine weapon that Gu Fei had used to slay the ferocious demon? Although the purple-gold divine sword and the peerless ominous saber had entered the mountain and river cauldron as soon as they appeared, the golden goddess could still sense that the two divine weapons were extraordinary. Buzz! After the purple-gold divine sword entered the mountain and river cauldron, it immediately let out a buzzing sound. Then, it turned into a purple-gold sword light and arrived at the Supreme Being's skull. Swoosh! Wherever the sword light passed, the figure that could resist the shadow of the mountain and river cauldron was immediately split apart. Boom! Without the figure blocking it, the shadow of the mountain and river cauldron directly suppressed the Supreme Being's skull. The soul fire inside the Supreme Being's skull was pulsating. The figure inside the Supreme Being's skull immediately became dim, as if it could dissipate into the void at any time. Roar! Just as the purple-gold divine sword was about to attack, a roar rang out from the sky. Then, a huge black shadow broke through the layers of obstacles and appeared near the skull. That was a black dragon that was 10,000 zhang long. It released an exceptional vicious might, causing the entire void to tremble. This was the aura of a supreme being. The peerless ominous saber emitted an extremely overbearing and ferocious aura, causing the sovereign divine sense inside the sovereign skull to feel very uneasy. Swoosh! The sovereign spiritual will directly pounce towards Gu Fei's clone. As long as he could devour this guy, his cultivation and strength would increase tremendously. Buzz! With a deafening sound, a sword shadow appeared in the hand of Gu Fei's avatar in the Supreme Being's skull. Then, the shadow of a peerless ominous saber appeared in the other hand of Gu Fei's avatar. He held two sovereign artifacts in his hands, and the waves emitted from the sovereign artifacts shocked the figure. At this moment, Gu Fei had already stabbed out with his sword. The illusory body of the sword contained the incomparably powerful waves of the sovereign artifact. As long as this sword pierced through, even the remnant soul of a sovereign artifact would be turned into ashes. The figure hurriedly dodged. At this moment, the peerless, ominous saber slashed down again. Still, the figure did not dare to go against the power of the sovereign artifact and dodged again. "I didn't expect you to have so many sovereign artifacts on you." The figure was extremely shocked. Gu Fei began to activate the power of the sovereign artifact and began to attack the Supreme Being's skull. Swoosh! A beam of purple-gold sword light directly fell towards the Supreme Being's skull. Gotcha! The divine sword directly struck the Supreme Being's skull, and the sound of bones breaking could be heard. Without any suspense, the Supreme Being's skull was split open by the purple-gold divine sword, and a sword mark appeared on the top of the skull. Roar! The black dragon also transformed into a black saber light that traversed thousands of miles and fell towards the Supreme Being's skull. Even though the Tao patterns of the sovereign artifact were intertwined on the skull, the condensed power was unable to contend against a true sovereign artifact. How is this possible? The wisp of divine will that came from the Supreme Being's skull was extremely frightened. The remnant soul of the sovereign artifact had waited for countless years, and what it waited for was not the opportunity to be reborn, but the opportunity to be destroyed. The mountain and river cauldron suppressed the Supreme Being's skull. Then, the purple-gold divine sword and the peerless ominous saber directly slashed towards the Supreme Being's skull, easily breaking through the suppressive power of the Supreme Being's skull. Swoosh! Gu Fei's avatar hurriedly flew up into the sky and rushed out of the supreme martial artist's skull that had been broken open. Then, it rushed out of the mountain and river cauldron and entered the forehead of Gu Fei's main body. Boom! At this moment, a shocking change happened in Gu Fei's Niwen Palace. The endless life force that the avatar had brought back was all devoured by an immortal cocoon in the Niwen Palace. Chapter 2142. After devouring the boundless life force, the clone returned to the Niwen Palace. After the life force was devoured by the immortal Tao fetus, the Tao fetus in the Niwen Palace immediately changed in a way that shocked even Gu Fei himself. Countless immortal Tao runes appeared on the Tao fetus. The immortal Tao divine body that had been nurturing broke out of its cocoon. Terrifying waves of immortal Tao shot out from between Gu Fei's eyebrows, shocking the heavens. It was as if a natural-born saint had appeared between the heavens and earth. Whoosh! A figure walked out from between Gu Fei's eyebrows and entered the cauldron of mountains and rivers. Die! The immortal Tao divine body nurtured by the nascent divinity and Tao fetus was extremely powerful. It attacked the skull that was sealed by the power of the cauldron of mountains and rivers. The immortal Tao divine body stretched out its hand. The violet gold sword and the peerless saber immediately flew back to it and landed in its hands. Without any suspense, the immortal Tao divine body's strength reached an unimaginable level. It cleaved the almost shattered skull in half with a single strike. Divine snatch! Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine physique let out a roar, and an unfathomable force immediately rushed out from the center of his brows and instantly spread out. A ball of soul fire flew out from the broken skull of the Supreme Master. It wanted to escape, but it was inside the space of the mountain and river cauldron. Even a wisp of the divine sense of a Supreme Master couldn't escape. Buzz! The space shook. A pitch-black vortex appeared between the eyebrows of Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine body. A heaven-devouring power seeped out from the vortex and swallowed the ball of soul fire. The soul fire had nowhere to go. In the end, it was devoured by Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine body. Gu Fei successfully obtained a memory belonging to the sovereign. I see. Gu Fei knew of a method that could allow him to evade the destructive power of the unseen world. The means of a Jizun was truly unbelievable. He could even grasp the method to resist that kind of power. However, Jizun's divine sense did not have any memory of how the destructive force had appeared. The moment Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine physique devoured Sovereign's extremely weak soul fire, the immortal divinity on the Sovereign's skull rapidly disappeared. Very soon, the skull completely lost its divinity and crumbled into dust. It disappeared into the void and no longer existed. After destroying the skull, Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine body used a great technique to seal itself. The immortal Tao divine body's powerful aura was immediately retracted. It sealed itself to avoid the destructive power so that Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine body wouldn't trigger that terrifying power. The immortal Tao divine body born from Gu Fei's nascent spirit Tao embryo wasn't a body of flesh and blood. The golden goddess was extremely shocked when she sensed the aura coming from the huge bones inserted into the ground in front of her. This was a super sealing grand array set up by the bones of a supreme being. The unknown existence that was suppressed by the super seal began to attack the super seal again after a few days of silence. Bang! There was another dull sound. The golden goddess could feel the fluctuation coming from under her feet. He didn't leave. She found a place to sit down. At this time, the fluctuation coming from Gu Fei's mountain and river cauldron had completely disappeared. A peerlessly powerful figure shrouded in treasure light jumped out of the mountain and river cauldron. Gu Fei's avatar had already sealed itself. As long as the seal wasn't removed, the destructive force would never appear. Of course, if it really sensed the force, the immortal Venerable's Tao body would be destroyed by that force. Gu Fei wouldn't let that happen. Gu Fei used a secret technique to place 4 seals on the immortal Venerable's Tao body, completely suppressing the immortal Venerable's power. Chapter 2143. Gu Fei didn't touch the super seal. One should know that the power of a formation set up by the sovereign bone was absolutely unimaginable, even if he had just obtained an immortal venerable body. Even an immortal, venerable body was nothing in the face of this super seal. Guzhong and the others didn't enter the ruins of the divine palace. With their current cultivation base, it was impossible for them to get close to the super seal. The wisp of qi emanating from the sovereign bone wasn't something they could withstand. Gu Fei waited for a few months. During this time, he sensed the presence of the golden goddess, but he had no intention of going to see her. In these few months, the unknown existence in the super seal would attack the seal every few days, trying to break the seal and rush out. However, this super seal was too powerful. It was set up by the sovereign bone. Perhaps only a sovereign could use such a method. Although the existence suppressed by the super seal was extremely powerful, it couldn't break the seal. In the end, Gu Fei left the place and brought Guzhong and the others out of the dark ghost world. Then, they returned to the ancient city on the burial sky planet. At this time, the entire ancient planet was shrouded in darkness again. However, the number of ghosts in the darkness had decreased a lot. Very few powerful ghosts appeared. Master, are we going to leave this place and continue our journey? Guzhong asked.
Yes.
Gu Fei nodded. There was no reason for them to stay on the burial sky planet anymore. The super seal in the dark ghost world wasn't something he could touch now. Then, Gu Fei put the 3 immortal emperors and their undead army into his inner world. The rest of them boarded the teleportation formation. Gu Fei activated the teleportation formation. The formation runes on the formation lit up immediately. Divine energy turned into a ball of divine light that enveloped Gu Fei and the others. Swoosh! With a flash of divine light, the void trembled. Gu Fei and the others disappeared from the teleportation formation. As soon as Gu Fei and the others left, the formation runes on the teleportation formation lit up again.
Schwa.
A ball of divine light appeared on the teleportation platform. When the divine light dissipated, 2 figures appeared on the teleportation platform. It was a man and a woman. The man had a dignified appearance, while the woman was full of spirit. A trace of craftiness could be seen in her big eyes. You guys are here too. At this moment, a figure walked out from the darkness outside the city. Golden Goddess. The man and woman walked down from the teleportation platform. Ziyun Xiao, the 2 of you siblings are really slow. The Golden Goddess walked over. She had been guarding the super array in the depths of the divine palace ruins for several months. At this time, she also knew that the existence in the seal would not be able to break through the seal in a short time. In that case, there was no need for her to stay on this desolate ancient planet. You still have the nerve to say that? You caused this trouble yourself, yet you want us to shoulder it. Truly despicable. Ziyuner said angrily. It turned out that Ziyun Xiao and his sister had only come to the ancient burial sky star now because they had been trapped in a dangerous place and had struggled to get out. The person who had led them into a dangerous place was the Golden Goddess. You can only blame yourselves for being too careless. Gu Fei has just left, so I'll be leaving too. You two can have fun here. The Golden Goddess boarded the teleportation platform, activated it, and directly teleported away. Gu Fei, Ziyun Xiao, and his sister were stunned when they heard the name. That despicable guy just left. Big brother, let's go after him quickly, Ziyuner said excitedly. During the few months that they had been trapped in the danger zone, they had brushed shoulders with death every day. In that extreme environment, their powers had increased very quickly. Now that the siblings had joined forces, they believed that they could fight against Gu Fei. However, what they did not know was that Gu Fei was also improving. Moreover, Gu Fei's primordial spirit had already nurtured the immortal Tao Divine Body. The immortal Tao Divine Body had merged with the immortal Venerate's physical body and seized the immortal Venerate's Tao fruit. Ziyun Xiao and his sister had no idea about any of this. Let's go after him. Ziyun Xiao was also very tempted. Wasn't his goal on the ancient road of the human race to defeat Gu Fei? Let's go. Without hesitation, Ziyun Xiao and his sister stepped onto the teleportation portal and activated it. They continued on the ancient road of the human tribe, heading towards their next destination. While the Z siblings were chasing after Gu Fei and the others had already arrived at the second stage of the human tribe's ancient road. When Gu Fei's group arrived at the second trial, they couldn't help but be shocked by the scene in front of them. There were corpses floating around them. They were actually in ruins. Broken stones, splattered mud, broken divine weapons, and badly mutilated corpses. This was definitely a tragic battlefield. What's going on? Could it be that the human race's second trial has already been destroyed? Everyone was extremely shocked. The teleportation platform under their feet was still intact and floating in the air. Let's go. Gu Fei took the lead and rushed out. The rest hurriedly followed. After a while, they finally rushed out of the wreckage. They arrived high up in the sky and looked down at the ruins below. An ancient city has been destroyed. The ruins below them were formed when an ancient city was destroyed. There were corpses, broken pieces, and countless intact or broken bricks. Countless fragments shot out in all directions. With a single glance, one could tell that an ancient city had been destroyed by someone. No one in the ancient city was spared, and all of them were killed. Such a method was ruthless to the extreme. It was truly unimaginable. All of you, go and investigate carefully. Find out who destroyed the second stage of the human race's ancient road, Gu Fei said solemnly. Could it be that this fellow wanted to destroy the human race's ancient road? If that was the case, it would be very dangerous. Gu Zhong and the rest dispersed and entered the ruins below, carefully searching for clues. Very quickly, they found something. It was a broken black spear. The spear was pitch black, and there were demonic runes inscribed on it. An extremely obscure fluctuation was emitted from the broken spear. It's the demons. Gu Fei couldn't believe it. The demons had actually extended their hands to the human race's ancient road. Damn it. Chapter 2144. The second stage of the human race was destroyed by the demons. The starry sky was filled with debris, and there were even some broken bones floating in the air. The ruins covered a radius of nearly 100 miles. It seems to have happened recently. The Iron-Blood Taoist entered the ruins to search carefully and said to Gu Fei when he came back, "Could it be that there are still people guarding the second stage of the human race in the present era?" Gu Zhong said in disbelief. It had been a long time since anyone had walked the human race's ancient road, and the first stage had long been abandoned. Could it be that the people guarding the second stage had stayed until the present era? This is a place of life built by humans. Unfortunately, it was destroyed by the hands of the demons. Gu Fei looked at the ruins in front of him and said in a deep voice, "A place of life built by humans." Everyone couldn't help but be shocked when they heard this because it was not an easy task to build a place of life. Not even immortals and gods could do it. Only sages who could easily create a world could do it. In other words, the second stage of the human race should be a place of life built by at least sages, where the human race could live and thrive. But now, this place where humans could live and thrive had been destroyed by the devil race. To be able to destroy such a place of life, it was enough to show how powerful the devil race was. Gu Fei and the others carefully searched through the ruins floating in the starry sky. They found that there were corpses of demons in addition to the corpses of humans. There were broken demons scattered in the ruins, and there was also a heart-palpitating demonic aura coming from a few places. All of this indicated that the second stage of the human race was recently destroyed by the demons. It seems like there was a fierce battle here. The 12 bandits couldn't help but be shocked when they saw this scene. The second stage of the human race was definitely not simple. There must be a peerless expert guarding this place of life. It was not an easy task for the demons to destroy this impregnable place. The demons must have paid a heavy price. Where did the demons come from? Zhong Liming said. The demons on Buzhou Ancestral Star had long been extinct, and these demons that destroyed the second stage of the ancient road of the human race were probably not from Buzhou Ancestral Star. Of course, the universe was endless. Perhaps somewhere in the universe, there was a territory of the demons. Demons had always been the source of chaos in the human realm. This time, the demons had destroyed the second stage of the ancient road of the human race. Could it be that there was something here that the demons had their eyes on? Don't tell me there isn't a grotto heaven in such a land of life? The military advisor of the 12 great bandits, Zhuge Liang, said as he waved his 5-colored feather fan. Grotto heaven. Gu Fei's eyes lit up when he heard this. He then sat down cross-legged in the void and operated the anti-void secret technique. A strange wave spread from his body. Then, his entire body became blurry, as if he was about to fuse with the surrounding space. An aura of the great Tao of heaven and earth surrounded him. This is Gu Zhong and Yao Yu couldn't help but be moved. They knew that their master was using the anti-void secret technique of the 9 secrets of a mortal path to sense the pulse of the world. This secret technique allowed Gu Fei to become one with the world. It was as if he had become one with the world, allowing him to capture the slightest pulse of the world. As Gu Fei's personal disciples, Gu Zhong and Yao Yu were naturally taught by Gu Fei. However, it was very difficult to cultivate the anti-void secret technique. Elder Jiao had already awakened the true dragon bloodline in his body and obtained the inheritance of the dragon clan. Elder Jiao focused on the various great techniques of the dragon clan and temporarily put the 9 secrets of a mortal path aside. One should know that the inheritance of the dragon clan was the most suitable thing for Elder Jiao. There really is a hidden grotto heaven. Gu Fei withdrew from the state of anti-void and stood up. He stared at the void 100 miles away, but there was nothing there. Swoosh! Gu Fei took a step and instantly left the ruins, appearing 100 miles away. Everyone looked at each other. They didn't think that Zhu Guoyang's seemingly unintentional words would actually come true. There really was a hidden grotto heaven in the nearby void. By the time everyone caught up, Gu Fei had already torn the void apart and stepped into the grotto heaven with a single step. Through the void that Gu Fei had torn apart, everyone saw a world full of vitality. An aura of life blew over, causing everyone to be pleasantly surprised. The void that was torn apart by Gu Fei was gradually mending, and everyone hurriedly rushed in. After everyone entered this abode, they couldn't help but be shocked. What they saw before their eyes was actually a large expanse of mountain ridges, and numerous mountain ridges stretched for hundreds of kilometers. Everywhere that entered their eyes, they were covered in a verdant and exuberant aura of life. The roars of ferocious beasts could be heard from time to time in the mountain ridges. Where spiritual qi gathered in the mountain ridges, the shadows of some pavilions could be seen. Dang! Suddenly, a bell rang from the mountains ahead. The melodious sound of the bell spread across the entire mountain. The moment the bell rang, all kinds of ferocious beasts in the mountain hid themselves. What's going on? Gu Zhong and the rest looked at each other. Could it be that the people here have discovered our arrival? Iron Blood Taoist's eyes shot out a ray of light. These people are very alert, Gu Fei said. At this moment, he was standing on top of a small mountain and gazing at the mountain ridge in front of him. After the bell rang, 3 figures immediately rushed out from the mountain. Bastards of the demons, do you really want to kill us all? A loud shout resounded through the mountains, reverberating through the mountains and not dissipating for a long time. Bastards of the demons. Hearing this, everyone couldn't help but be stunned. Could it be that the people here thought that the demons had chased them here? This grotto heaven was not simple. It was actually 10,000 miles in radius. This grotto heaven was most likely an inner world left behind by a sage. Otherwise, how could there be such a scene? Don't be rash. An old man in white robes with a horsetail whisk in his hand said. The 3 of them were extremely fast. In an instant, they came close. These 3 were extremely powerful experts of the human race, especially the old man who was actually a quasi-sage. Behind the old man were 2 middle-aged men with black beards. These 2 men were tall and sturdy with a full beard. Their appearance was rough, giving off a domineering feeling. Who are you guys? Could you be the elites that have stepped onto the ancient road of the human race? The old man in white robes brought the 2 men to the front of Gu Fei's group. The old man was extremely shocked. This was his first time seeing people outside of the grotto heaven. Chapter 2145. There was indeed a mysterious grotto in the second stage of the ancient road of the human race. Even though the land of life in the second stage had been destroyed by the demons, some of them were still lucky enough to hide in the mysterious grotto. Who are you guys? As soon as Gu Fei and the others entered the mysterious grotto, they were immediately discovered by the people here. To think that someone had barged into the grotto. This caused the survivors of the mysterious grotto to be extremely nervous. If the demons had barged in, they would have no choice but to fight the demons with their lives. The mysterious grotto of the second stage of the ancient road of the human race was another land of life. Even though the second stage of the human race had been destroyed, they could still live and reproduce here. "We have no ill intentions." On the hill, Gu Fei said calmly. Even though the three of them were strong and the white-robed old man leading them was a quasi-sage, they were nothing in Gu Fei's eyes. "Could it be that you guys are from the ancestors' land?" The white-robed old man sized up Gu Fei and said excitedly. The people guarding the second stage of the human race were from the ancestral star of Buzhou. Even though countless years had passed, the people here still knew that they were from the ancestors' land. Ancestors' land? You guys are talking about the ancestral star of Buzhou. At this moment, Gu Zhong stepped out from behind Gu Fei and said, "Yes, our ancestors' land is the ancestral star of life called Buzhou." The white-robed old man was so excited that his voice was trembling. They were the descendants of the immortal soldiers and celestial generals who guarded the second stage of the human race. They longed to return to their ancestors' land. However, the path back had long been cut off. Some of them had returned to the first stage of the human race, but there was no news of them. No one knew what had happened to the first stage. The people of the second stage were unwilling to give up. They invited a few old ancestor-level existences to return to the first stage of the human race. This time, one of the old ancestor-level existences finally returned. It was an old ancestor. To everyone's surprise, this old ancestor had suffered a fatal injury. Less than a month after the old ancestor returned, he died. From this patriarch, the people of the second stage of the ancient road of the human tribe learned a piece of despairing news. The first stage of the ancient road of the human tribe had long been lost. The first stage of the human race's ancient road had undergone a huge change. The human race's ancient road had been severed. Therefore, the people on the second trial of the human race could no longer return to Buzhou ancestral star and could only stay on the second trial of the human race. Not long ago, when the demon race attacked, the old man brought some people to hide in the mysterious grotto heaven. The first stage of the human race's ancient road is no longer dangerous. You guys can return now. Gu Fei said. What? The white-clothed old man and the two strong men behind him were pleasantly surprised. If what these people said was true, then they would be able to return to the ancestral land. Is it true? We can return to the ancestral land now. The old man and the two strong men couldn't help but believe it. However, the fact spoke louder than words. These people couldn't be demons. Since they could come here, then the ancient road of the human race must have been connected. What happened on the second stage of the human race's ancient road? The iron-blood Taoist asked. It's a long story. Since you guys are here, please follow me. As the white-clothed old man spoke, he made an inviting gesture towards Gu Fei before leading the way in front. Gu Fei followed suit. Naturally, Gu Zhong and the others also followed suit. Along the way, Zhuge Liang, who knew a thing or two about the Tao formations, became more and more shocked. The terrain here was very particular. It seemed to be a place where dragons flourished. Dragon chi gathered. In the eyes of mortals, this kind of terrain was incredible. It was a treasure land that could produce emperors. Of course, this kind of terrain was nothing in the eyes of powerful existences. It could only be said that the earth veins here were not simple. Gu Fei and the others were led by the white-clothed old man to the foot of a mountain. This mountain was like a crane among a flock of chickens. There was a teleportation formation at the foot of the mountain. The old man brought Gu Fei and the others through the teleportation formation and returned to a pavilion on the mountain peak. After everyone sat down, the old man told them the reason why the second stage of the human race's ancient road was destroyed. It turned out that the second stage of the human race's ancient road was not simple. It was a place to suppress demons. In the city of the second stage of the human race's ancient road, there was a great sage of demons as corpse sealed. The demons on the Crimson Blood Demon star somehow found out about this and came to attack the second stage. As a result, a great battle inevitably broke out. Some strong demons came with the strongest demonic weapon among the demons. With a powerful strike, they destroyed the second stage of the human race's ancient road which had existed for countless years. At the moment when the impregnable pass was destroyed, I really saw a demon corpse fall out, the white-clothed old man said with lingering fear. The white-clothed old man said with a lingering fear in his heart. The city they had lived in for generations had unexpectedly suppressed the corpse of a great sage devil. Just thinking about it made his scalp tingle. That was a great sage of demons' corpse. If the power of the seal could not suppress the demonic chi on the demon corpse, many people would die. Crimson Blood Demon Star. Hearing this name, Gu Fei couldn't help but frown. Could there really be a demon star occupied by demons in the nearby starry sky? This was not a good thing. Gu Fei and the others didn't stay in the grotto heaven for too long. After learning about the second stage of the human race's ancient road, they quickly left the grotto heaven. Crimson Blood Demon Star? There was no expression on Gu Fei's face. Before he left the grotto heaven, he had already learned about the location of the demon star from the white-clothed old man. The Crimson Blood Demon Star wasn't very close to the second stage of the human race's ancient road. There were millions of miles between the two. Master, are you thinking of? Gu Zhong said hesitantly. This immortal venerable clone of mine has never seen blood before. This is an opportunity. Gu Fei glanced at Gu Zhong and said, this, everyone couldn't help but be moved. It wasn't a secret that Gu Fei had obtained an immortal venerable clone. Although immortal venerables were powerful, they never had the chance to use it. Let's go. Gu Fei took the lead and flew in the direction of the Crimson Blood Demon Star, a distance of millions of miles. If it was an ordinary person, they would definitely not be able to travel that far in a short period of time. However, Gu Fei wasn't an ordinary person. He possessed the fastest movement technique in the world. A few days later, Gu Fei's figure appeared in the starry sky near the Crimson Blood Demon Star. The Scarlet Blood Demon Star was extremely strange. The rocks and sand on the star were all dark red in color, as if they had been dyed with blood. Chapter 2146. The Scarlet Blood Demon Star looked like a star that had been dyed red by blood. It wasn't big, but it wasn't small either. There wasn't a single blade of grass growing on it. The sand and stones on it were either red or dark red in color. There was a devilish aura that enveloped the entire star. From afar, it looked like the heart of an incomparably ferocious devil. This is the devil that destroyed the second stage of the human race's ancient road and took away the corpse of the great sage demons that was sealed in the second stage. Gu Fei stopped 10,000 miles away from the Scarlet Blood Demon Star. There was definitely an incomparably powerful devil on this star. One must know that the aura emitted by the devil here had already enveloped the entire star. As long as someone barged into the star, the devil on the star would be the first to sense it. Gu Fei didn't want to beat the grass and startle the snake at this moment because he still didn't know the actual situation of the other party. If he were to rush forward recklessly, he would fall into a passive situation. Master. At this time, Gu Zhong and the rest finally caught up. Take a good look at the star in front. Gu Fei glanced at Gu Zhong and the rest and said, this is the Scarlet Blood Demon Star. When Gu Zhong and the rest saw the star, they couldn't help but be incomparably shocked. There was actually such a devil star in this star region. When everyone sensed the demonic aura coming from the Scarlet Star, their expressions changed. The devil on the Scarlet Star wasn't simple. The Demon Lord's aura could already affect the entire planet. It was truly surprising that there was such a powerful Demon Lord on the Red Planet. Master, are we really going to fight against the devil here? Gu Zhong asked. The devil aura here made him feel uneasy. The Scarlet Blood Demon Star was extraordinary. There must be an unimaginable devil entrenched on it. You're afraid, Gu Fei said. His tone was incomparably calm. No one knew what he was feeling right now. Why would I be afraid of these devil bastards? Gu Zhong raised his head and puffed out his chest, a look of disdain on his face. Very well, then go and investigate the devil's actual situation, Gu Fei said. Gu Zhong's face immediately collapsed when he heard this. He said to Gu Fei with a sad face, Master, can I not go? What do you think? Gu Fei looked at Gu Zhong and said with a solemn expression, I'll go then. He was really the most despicable. Why did he have to speak up? If he didn't say anything, wouldn't everything have been fine? His intestines were already green with regret. Senior brother, little sister wishes you success. Yao Yu smiled at Gu Zhong. You little brat. Gu Zhong snapped. Then, with a sway of his body, he disappeared before everyone's eyes. His speed was so fast that even the Iron Blood Taoist was shocked. Is the Desolate Steppes really the fastest in the world? Iron Blood Taoist thought. Really, master. He actually sent me to this godforsaken place where even birds don't shit and turtles don't lay eggs. In a valley on the Scarlet Blood Demon Star, a figure was hiding and carefully sneaking into the valley while the sky was dark. This person was Gu Zhong, who regretted being the most despicable. He had already been in the Scarlet Blood Demon Star for 4 hours. There was no night or day on the star, nor were there any other celestial phenomena. However, he realized that the star would darken every once in a while. Gu Zhong used the anti-void technique to successfully sneak into the Scarlet Star. When he stepped on the Scarlet Star, he felt that this star was different from the others. It was as if this star was alive. He didn't know why such a thought popped up in his mind. This star was very desolate. Flowers and trees were extinct. Even the vitality seemed to have been extinguished. At first glance, all he could see were red stones and sand. However, it wasn't difficult to find traces of demons on this star. Soon, Gu Zhong found a place where demons gathered. This place was the valley he was sneaking into. The valley wasn't big, and it was surrounded by mountains on all sides. Demonic chi rose from within, enveloping the entire valley in a layer of dark demonic chi. Gu Zhong cultivated the 9 secrets of immortal Tao. The anti-void technique among the 9 secrets allowed his aura and even fluctuations to be infinitely close to the surrounding void. Of course, if he had the cultivation of his master, Gu Fei, he could directly become one with the world. No one below the sage level would be able to sense his presence. Even though his anti-void technique was only at the initial level, it was enough for him to deal with the current situation. Soon, he snuck into the valley and hid in a pile of rocks. He then carefully looked into the depths of the valley. Gu Zhong couldn't help but be shocked when he saw the situation in the depths of the valley. He saw a large piece of flatland 6 or 7 kilometers in front of him. In the center of the flatland was a platform that was dozens of meters tall. There were more than a dozen fires burning around the platform. A demonic bead that emitted a dark blue demonic light hovered above the platform. The demonic bead was only the size of an adult's fist, but the demonic aura it emitted was extremely powerful. What are these demon bastards trying to do? Gu Zhong couldn't help but feel bewildered when he saw the scene in the valley. Soon, 4 demons dressed in black walked out from the darkness in the depths of the valley. They were 4 human-shaped demons. They were actually carrying a giant black coffin to the bottom of the platform. Then, they walked up the stairs in front of the platform, step by step, carrying the giant coffin up to the sky. What the hell? What the demons were doing in the valley was too strange. It made Gu Zhong feel uneasy, especially when he saw the giant black coffin. It seemed like there was a supreme demon slumbering in it. The demonic aura coming from the coffin made Gu Zhong's heart palpitate. Could it be? Gu Zhong couldn't help but be moved when he thought of something. At this moment, the 4 demons in black had already carried the giant black coffin to the platform. They then put the coffin down and stood in 4 different directions on the platform, no longer moving. Soon, another group of demons walked out from the depths of the valley. From the figure of the person in front, it seemed to be a woman. The group of demons were also dressed in black and had cloaks draped over their heads. Their appearances couldn't be seen. The group of demons came to the front of the high platform, and the woman directly ascended the platform. The demons behind her dispersed below the platform. The woman went up to the platform and stood in front of the black coffin. Immediately, a demonic sound that shook one's mind rang out from the platform. This demonic sound seemed to come from the ancient times. It seemed extremely ancient and distant. When the demonic sound entered the ears, even a great emperor like Gu Zhong almost lost himself. It's too terrifying. Gu Zhong's shock was no small matter. This kind of demonic sound had almost broken through his heart's defenses and triggered his heart's devil. Chapter 2147. The huge platform, The black demonic coffin, the mysterious demonic sound. All of this opened Gu Zhong's eyes. He was extremely shocked. What was that demon doing? Was it summoning souls? The demonic sound lingered on the platform. The black-cloaked woman was chanting some kind of ancient scripture. It was a demonic scripture that contained unfathomable demonic power. The mysterious demonic sound caused Gu Zhong to feel great pressure. It could actually disturb his mind, forcing him to be careful when dealing with it. If his heart demons were to be triggered here, he would be in danger of becoming a demon. Gu Zhong did not want to become a demon. Who is it? Just as Gu Zhong was focusing his mind to fight against the demonic sound, he found it difficult to maintain the state of merging his body with the world. The demon in the valley immediately sensed his presence. Damn it! Gu Zhong immediately jumped out from the pile of rocks he was hiding in and turned to flee. Kill! A furious roar rang out from below the platform. The dozen or so black-cloaked demons standing around the platform immediately flew up and chased after Gu Zhong. The demonic sound on the platform did not stop. The demonic patterns that appeared on the black demonic coffin shone with demonic light. The demonic patterns interweaved to form an ancient demonic diagram, triggering the powerful demonic power of the planet. The sky above the valley immediately changed color. The entire world darkened. Blood-colored lightning flashed high up in the sky, wreaking havoc. The demonic power that gathered from all directions all gathered towards the black demonic coffin. The entire demonic coffin was like a bottomless black hole, devouring the demonic chi of the world. Within the black demonic coffin, there seemed to be an unparalleled true demon awakening. The demonic aura coming from the coffin grew stronger and stronger. Rumble. The demonic coffin shook. What's going on? At that moment, in the starry sky tens of thousands of miles away from the crimson blood demon planet, Gu Fei suddenly sensed something. His gaze seemed to pierce through the world, ignoring the distance between them. He looked into the valley on the crimson blood demon planet. Who's spying? An old voice rang out from the darkness in the depths of the valley. When Gu Fei looked into the valley, an old man walked out from the darkness. The old man's body was shrouded in a devilish aura. The devilish aura was somewhat unique, and it would occasionally transform into devilish dragons that bared their fangs and brandished their claws. Old ancestor, why did you come out? On the high platform, the demonic sound had already stopped. At this time, the ancient demonic patterns on the demon coffin had already been completely activated by the demonic sound. It could automatically devour the demonic chi in the surroundings. We're being watched. The old man took a step forward and arrived on the high platform. He held a walking stick in his hand. The walking stick was completely black, and the head of the walking stick was a dragon head. The walking stick was carved with a dragon body, and there was a demonic aura faintly visible on it. The old man's gaze met Gu Fei's in the void, and sparks flew. What? The black-cloaked woman was shocked. She then said, "Didn't we destroy the second stage of the ancient road of the humans? There shouldn't be any other experts around here." That woman felt that this was inconceivable. To be able to alarm the old ancestor, this newcomer was most likely not that simple. And just as Gu Fei and the old man sensed each other's presence, outside the valley, Gu Zhong was being chased by the dozen or so devils for 1,000 miles. You bunch of devil bastards, chasing so closely. Do you really think that I'm afraid of you? Gu Zhong suddenly stopped. He turned around and roared at the dozen black-cloaked demons that were chasing him. A powerful aura erupted from his body. Seeing that Gu Zhong had suddenly stopped, the devils couldn't help but be shocked. At the same time, they sensed the powerful aura erupting from Gu Zhong's body. Kill. Without any hesitation, the dozen or so devils immediately attacked Gu Zhong. In an instant, all sorts of devil weapons smashed towards Gu Zhong. One of the devils raised his hand and cast out a devilish net that enveloped the heavens and earth towards Gu Zhong. Humph! Eat my fist. Gu Zhong directly punched out with the golden element fist. His fists were like two golden divine suns, emitting resplendent golden light that illuminated the dark space. Bang! Boom! Sounds of collision rang out unceasingly. Gu Zhong actually used his fists to clash against the dozen or so devil weapons. The powerful fist energy actually sent more than half of the devil weapons flying. Some of them even exploded from a single punch. In the end, Gu Zhong grabbed onto the devilish net with both hands and exerted force, directly tearing a huge hole in the net. How is this possible? All the devils were shocked to the extreme. This human's physical body was actually this strong? How did he manage to cultivate such a strong physical body? These devils didn't know that after Gu Zhong's martial body was tempered by the saint blood, its strength was already close to that of a saint weapon. These devil weapons weren't the devil weapons refined by the devil saint, so it was hard for them to cause any damage to Gu Zhong. Swish! Gu Zhong rushed out from the devilish net and directly pounced towards the devil closest to him. That devil wanted to attack, but Gu Zhong's pounce was simply too fast. Before that devil could react, he was already pinned to the ground. Gotcha! Gu Zhong directly broke the devil's neck. Boom! Just as Gu Fei was about to break the neck of the demon, a ball of demonic flames erupted in front of him before burning towards him. A demon was attacking him. Gu Zhong exerted force with both his legs and pushed off the devil's body. After that, like a divine leopard, he darted out and avoided the devil fire that was coming towards him. He managed to avoid the demonic fire, but the demon whose bones were broken by his feet weren't so lucky. The demonic fire swallowed the demon's body and burned it to ashes in an instant. These devils didn't show any mercy. Even if it was their own people, it was the same. A devil died under the devil fire of his own people. Even his soul couldn't escape. Bang! At this moment, Gu Zhong had already arrived in front of another devil and punched the devil's abdomen. His fist directly penetrated the devil's body and came out from his back. Gu Zhong shook his fist and a powerful force erupted. The devil's body was instantly shattered into millions of pieces. A devil soul wrapped in devil light rushed out from the blood mist. Chapter 2148. In the blink of an eye, he had killed 2 demons. This was something that had the other demons chasing after Gu Zhong in shock. They had not expected Gu Zhong to be this strong. Spread out. Hurry and spread out. Distance yourself from that human. Their shouts rang out as the other demons retreated in all directions immediately. The close combat strength of the enemy was way too strong. In just an instant, 2 demons had died. Haha! Gu Zhong burst out laughing. At the same time, he was moving at an extremely fast speed, turning into a shadow that was almost invisible to the naked eye. With a flash, he had appeared before another demon. Roar! That demon roared out and retreated rapidly. At the same time, he waved both his hands out, sending out a series of demonic marks that were aimed at Gu Zhong. Every single demonic mark contained a tremendous amount of demonic power. If they were to be imprinted on the body of the enemy, they would definitely be severely injured. But it was a pity that the opponent of this demon was Gu Zhong. One had to know that the path of martial arts that the martial ancestor had created was one that specialized in close combat. The moment a martial artist got into close combat, even if the opponent was stronger than the martial artist, they would definitely be in deep trouble. Furthermore, these demons that were chasing after Gu Zhong were only at the Almighty State at the very most. Even if some of them were at the Almighty Emperor State, they would not stand a chance against Gu Zhong. Gu Zhong lowered his body and dodged the demonic marks that were coming at him. He then stomped his feet on the ground. Boom! Instantly, a red cloud of dust rose from the ground. This single stomp of Gu Zhong caused the ground beneath his feet to cave in, causing dust to rise up into the air. At the same time, Gu Zhong had already made use of this momentum to pounce into the embrace of that demon, coming into intimate contact with him. Bam! Gotcha! Gu Zhong slammed into the body of the demon. Instantly, the sound of bones cracking rang out from within the body of the demon. After that, the demon fell limp like a pile of mud, as though all the bones in his body had been shattered. Shoo! Suddenly, a ball of demonic light shot out from the head of the demon. This was the essence spirit of the demon, wanting to escape. However, Gu Zhong stretched out his right hand and grabbed onto that ball of demonic light. No, the demon's primordial spirit was scared out of its wits. He never thought that his opponent would be so strong that even his primordial spirit could not escape. The devil's primordial spirit was about to beg for mercy, but Gu Zhong clenched his right hand. Pong! The devil light in his hand was crushed by him. One of the demons died in Gu Zhong's hands. Everything happened very quickly. Only when the demon's primordial spirit was caught by Gu Zhong did the other demons regain their senses and attack Gu Zhong. However, it was already too late. No one could save that demon. Boom! A ball of demonic fire descended from the sky, burning towards Gu Zhong. It was as if a black demonic sun had appeared in the sky, and an almighty emperor-level demon general was attacking Gu Zhong. Among the remaining 12 demons, there were 3 almighty emperor-level existences. As for the rest, they were all almighty existences. Such a team of demons would definitely be the main force of the second stage of the human race's ancient road. But now, this team of demons that had once attacked the second stage of the human race's ancient road was in great danger. Gu Zhong's strength had far exceeded their expectations. Gu Zhong chuckled. With a sway of his body, he instantly appeared 100 feet away, dodging the attack of the demonic fire. His speed was so fast that it shocked all the other demons. This guy is pretending to be a pig to eat the tiger. He wants to lure us here and kill us all. Some of the demons came to a realization. Cunning human race. Some demons roared. Kill. The almighty emperor-level demon in the sky roared. As if he had turned into a demonic sun, he pounced down towards Gu Zhong. Black demonic fire raged, enveloping the entire sky. You want to kill me? Gu Zhong snorted coldly. Then, he stomped his feet on the ground. Bang! The ground exploded, causing dust to fly everywhere. With just one stomp, a huge crater was formed on the hard ground. At the same time, Gu Zhong shot up into the sky like a golden divine arrow, breaking through the layers of demonic fire. In an instant, he arrived in front of the almighty emperor-level demon. That almighty emperor-level demon was extremely shocked. The fact that the other party was able to ignore his demonic fire shocked him to the extreme. One should know that his demonic fire was the extremely powerful 9 underworld demonic fire. As long as a cultivator was touched by the demonic fire, they would be burnt to ashes. However, Gu Zhong's body emitted a golden aura, blocking all the demonic fire outside his body. None of the demonic fire could touch his body. Eat my fist. Gu Zhong was very direct. His right fist punched towards the demonic figure that was covered in demonic fire. The ferocious metal fist force shook the void, and the endless demonic fire was dispersed by his fist. Bang! Gotcha! The demon could only use his hands to protect his chest. Gu Zhong's fist smashed on the demon's arms. A bone-chilling sound of bones breaking was heard. The demon was directly sent flying thousands of feet away by Gu Zhong's fist before falling from the sky. How is this possible? Seeing this scene, all the demons turned pale with fright. Gu Zhong was much stronger than they had imagined. He actually defeated the 3 strongest demon emperors among them in one move. How could they fight against him? Some demons wanted to escape, but with the other 2 demon emperors watching, no one dared to escape. One should know that even if they escape now, they would probably die when they return to their clan. The devil race's punishment for those clansmen who fled in the face of battle was very severe. Let's go together. One of the demon emperors rushed towards Gu Zhong after Gu Zhong sent the other demon emperor flying with a punch. Powerful demonic energy surged from his body. Die! The demon emperor waved his right hand, and a demonic light immediately flew out from his hand. It spun and slashed towards Gu Zhong. The demonic light wrapped around a crescent moon-shaped demonic blade. Swoosh! At this moment, the 3rd demon emperor made his move. A crimson light appeared, and a blood-colored demonic arrow was shot towards Gu Zhong. There were demonic marks faintly visible on the blood-colored demonic arrow. As long as this demonic arrow hit, even an almighty emperor would die. This was not an ordinary demonic arrow. It was the famous blood demonic arrow of the demons. The demonic arrow contained bloody demonic chi. If this demonic chi invaded the body, even an almighty emperor would die. Haha, come at me together. I don't have time to play with you. Chapter 2149. Two demon emperor-level demons made their moves. Powerful demonic energy surged as the demonic saber and arrow flew towards Gu Zhong at almost the same time. Bam! Gu Zhong met the enemy with a pair of golden fists. With a single punch, the spinning demonic saber was immediately blown away. He reached out and caught the blood-killing demonic arrow in his hand. Gu Zhong snorted coldly and waved his hand. With a flash of bloodlight, the blood-killing demonic arrow nailed itself into one of the demons. That demon was terrified. In an instant, the muscles on his body shriveled. Within a few breaths, he had turned into a dried corpse. The other demons were shocked to see this. The demonic aura contained in the blood-killing demonic arrow was incredible. It could corrode the flesh and soul of those who were shot. The blood-killing demon emperor, was shocked and furious when he saw that his demonic arrow could not threaten Gu Zhong at all. Buzz. At this moment, the other saber demon emperor's demonic saber let out a crisp sound and flew towards Gu Zhong. On the crescent-shaped demonic saber, demonic patterns could be vaguely seen. The demonic energy of an almighty emperor-level demonic energy surged from the demonic saber. Under the impact of the saber aura, the surrounding temperature dropped rapidly. Just so, Gu Zhong struck out with the metal elemental fist. The metal elemental energy in the void was triggered along with his fist. As he struck out with his fist, the void around him flashed with golden divine light. Plang! Gu Zhong's fist collided with the crescent-shaped demonic saber continuously, producing a metallic sound as though two pieces of divine metal were colliding. Finally, after more than 100 collisions, the demonic saber was finally smashed into pieces by Gu Zhong's fist. A rare demonic weapon was destroyed just like that. What? The saber demon emperor's eyes widened. His demonic saber was actually smashed into pieces by the fists of this human. He could not believe it. However, this was the truth. Swoosh! The demonic arrow pierced through the air. Just as Gu Zhong's fist shattered the demonic blade, a bloody light suddenly appeared. A blood-colored demonic arrow turned into a bloody light and shot towards his head. The blood-evil demon emperor shot an arrow with all his might. The speed of the demonic arrow was extremely fast. Wherever it passed, a pitch-black spatial crack was left in the void. However, Gu Zhong had cultivated the 8 desolation steps, which gave him the speed of 8 steps. Even though the demonic blood arrow was fast, it couldn't hit him. Gu Zhong took a step forward and instantly disappeared from where he was. When he reappeared in the next moment, he was already above the blood-killing demon emperor's head. Bang! He stomped his foot down on the blood-evil demon emperor. However, right at this moment, a few of the demons that had already escaped far away seemed to have encountered something extremely horrifying as they turned back. At the same time, Gu Zhong could feel a few powerful vibrations coming from the surroundings. Haha, senior brother, we're here to help you. A crisp laughter that sounded like a silver bell came from afar. A figure walked out from behind a mound. Behind the mound was the corpse of a demon, junior sister Yao Yu. Looking at this person, Gu Zhong couldn't help but get a shock. This person was none other than his junior sister Yao Yu. Roar! Just then, a dragon's roar rang out from behind a short mound as a demonic figure was sent flying by a scarlet dragon claw. Junior brother Scarlet Dragon is here as well. Seeing this, Gu Zhong couldn't help but be surprised and delighted. With these junior brothers and junior sisters taking action, those demons definitely wouldn't be able to escape. Meanwhile, an even more powerful aura could be felt coming from the direction that the demons came from. A figure was walking over from afar. This person was none other than the Iron Blood Taoist. No wonder these demons ran back in fear. It turned out that they had encountered a ferocious person like the Iron Blood Taoist. One must know that the Iron Blood Taoist was a quasi-sage. The Iron Blood Taoist didn't even need to make a move. Just the powerful aura that he emitted was enough to force these demons to run back. Without any suspense, this group of demons that were chasing after Gu Zhong was completely annihilated. Chapter 2150. I didn't expect the human clan to take action so quickly. An old voice came from the valley filled with demonic aura. An old man holding a dragon-headed crutch walked out of the valley step by step. Since you dare to offend my human clan, you must be prepared to pay the price. A loud voice came from the sky above the Scarlet Star. This voice spread across half of the Scarlet Star, alarming the demons in other regions. What's going on? How can there be such a powerful human clan in the nearby star region? It shouldn't be. Exclamations came from other places on the Scarlet Star. There was a powerful demonic aura erupting. The experts of the demons on the Scarlet Star reacted immediately. Demonic aura erupted in every region on the Scarlet Star. The entire Scarlet Star was simply a super nest of demons. They thought that the human clan would lose their foothold in this star region after the second stage of the human clan's ancient road was destroyed. However, the experts of the demons never expected that the human clan would come knocking on their doors so quickly. You want to resurrect the great sage of demons. The existence in the sky seemed to have noticed something as the voice sounded again. At this time, a powerful life fluctuation came from the valley. The dark demonic aura completely drowned the valley behind the old man. Within the demonic aura, demonic patterns could be seen from time to time. Who are you? At this time, the old man couldn't help but be moved. This was the great secret of their race. The other demons on the Scarlet Star didn't know this secret at all. Resurrect the great sage of demons. All the experts of the demons were shocked to the extreme. If this was true, then the power of the demons on the Scarlet Star would be reshuffled. The demons weren't as united as they looked on the surface. The competition among the demons was also very fierce. Different demons believed in different demon ancestors. I don't want to talk nonsense. Die. Gu Fei descended from the sky like an ancient god reappearing. The aura he exuded was extremely powerful. This part of the world seemed to be about to be crushed by him. Humph! The old man looked up, and a bloody light flashed in his eyes. The demonic aura on his body was vast and mighty. The demonic aura turned into a black demonic dragon, baring its fangs and claws as if it was about to rush out from his body. So it's a demonic dragon. Gu Fei's voice was extremely calm. His body was surrounded by the divine light of the immortal path. Immortal patterns of the great path emerged on his body and interweaved into mysterious patterns. This was not Gu Fei's real body, but his immortal sovereign body. At this time, Gu Fei's real body was still thousands of miles away from the Red Planet. He did not personally descend on this devil planet. His intuition told him that this Scarlet Star was not simple, so he had no choice but to be cautious. A self-sealing immortal sage. The old man with the dragon-headed walking stick said. He was secretly shocked. Could it be that there was such an existence guarding the second stage of the ancient road of the human race? How could this be possible? If there was such an existence, why didn't he make a move back then? Back then, when the demons attacked the second stage of the ancient road of the human race, there were countless casualties among the human race. Only a few managed to escape. If this person had acted that day, he would have been the one to escape. Master has made a move. At this time, Gu Zhong and the others were rapidly approaching the valley. However, they stopped when they arrived in the vicinity. A battle between powerhouses of this level was something they couldn't interfere at all. The aura on Master's body, Yao Yu carefully cast a spell. The aura on Gu Fei's body seemed to have changed. At this time, Gu Fei was like a descending immortal sage of the immortal path. There was no aura of a warrior on his body at all. Could it be? Gu Zhong seemed to have thought of something. Boom! At this time, the two experts in front of them had already made their moves. Two huge palms collided violently, causing an earth-shattering explosion. Gu Fei's figure flickered, and he directly attacked the old man. With a wave of his hand, the sound of thunder suddenly rang out, and bolts of lightning the size of mountains descended from the sky, bombarding the old man from the devil race. With a wave of his hand, he attracted a huge amount of sky lightning. This was a technique of the immortal path called the lightning guiding technique. Even though it was a very ordinary technique, it was something else entirely when Gu Fei used it. The old man with the demons merely raised the black dragon-headed walking stick in his hand and slashed through the void. Instantly, a huge crack appeared above his head. The overwhelming sky lightning that came crashing down were all guided into the crack by the old man with the demons. With that, The old man easily nullified this move of Gu Fei's. All right. As Gu Fei's immortal lord body spoke, the color of the sky changed with a single thought. Boundless earth chi was guided by him, turning into huge dragons that were thousands of feet long, pouncing towards the old man with the demons. Rumble. A total of 9 dragons soared into the sky, exuding an extremely terrifying aura. Huge dragon claws tore through the void, grabbing towards the old man with the demons. Roar. Just then, the black, dragon-headed walking stick in the hands of the old man with the demons flew up and turned into a black dragon that soared into the sky, fighting against the 9 dragons that were formed from the earth essence chi. The demon dragon was extremely powerful. Even though it was fighting against 9 dragons alone, it was not at a disadvantage. In fact, it was even showing signs of suppressing Gu Fei's 9 dragons' great technique. Saint-tier demon weapon. The eyes of the immortal lord body lit up. To think that the walking stick in the hands of the old man with the demons was a saint-tier demon weapon. He was filled with anticipation. It would be best if these demons were not too weak. Roar. The old man with the demons roared into the sky. Then, an extremely powerful wave rippled out in all directions. In the next moment, the body of the old man shone with a demonic light. The old man turned into a demonic dragon and soared into the sky, charging at Gu Fei. Seal. Gu Fei's celestial sovereign body shouted and waved his hands. Countless Tao runes rushed out of his hands and sealed the demonic dragon that was charging at him. Every single immortal Tao divine rune released the brightest divine light, locking down an area of the void, sealing that demonic dragon within. Swoosh. Gu Fei's immortal lord body took a step forward. In the next moment, he appeared in front of the demon dragon. Without any hesitation, he used one of the 9 secrets of the immortal Tao, the primordial spirit materialization sword secret technique. He did not want to tangle with this demon dragon, so he used his killer move right from the start. Roar. At this critical juncture, the demon dragon that was sealed by the immortal runes of Gu Fei's immortal lord body suddenly erupted with a powerful wave of energy, breaking through the sealing force and rushing out. Now this is interesting. Chapter 2151. The demonic dragon was not simple. He was an old antique of the demons of the Scarlet Blood Demon Star. He was the ancestor of the demons. He was incomparably powerful, much more powerful than the ordinary demons. Rumble. The demonic dragon went all out. All the immortal runes that sealed the demonic dragon trembled and collapsed. This old demon actually broke the seal of Gu Fei's immortal venerable Tao physique with his own strength. Who? The demonic dragon fiercely spat out a wave of demonic fire at Gu Fei's immortal venerable Tao physique. The black demonic fire immediately enveloped the area and swept out. The entire heaven and earth seemed to be shrouded by this demonic fire. Ha! Gu Fei's immortal venerable Tao physique laughed heartily. He moved freely in the endless demonic fire. The terrifying demonic fire could not affect him at all. Bang! With a slap of his palm, the old demonic dragon was sent flying thousands of meters away. The explosive power of a powerful immortal venerable body was absolutely astonishing. Preposterous. You're an immortal venerable. The old demonic dragon's knowledge was also extraordinary. He was actually sent flying thousands of meters away by a slap of this person. It was impossible for an ordinary sage's body to do that. Only an immortal venerable who was only one step away from the supremacy stage could have such a powerful body. One should know that the old demonic dragon was an ancient dragon. It was publicly acknowledged that the body of the dragon race was incomparably strong. This demonic dragon was also a powerful existence of the sage level. In ancient times, he once dominated a region. The demonic dragon's cultivation had been sealed, but his powerful sage-level body made his combat strength incomparably strong. There were 3 great demons on the Scarlet Blood Star. This demonic dragon was one of them. He was also the one who led the demons to conquer the 2nd stage of the ancient road of the human race. A great sage demonic corpse was of great use to him. At this time, the mysterious demonic voice resounded in the valley again. The demonic chi in the valley was vast and mighty, emitting a powerful life fluctuation. It seemed that there was a supreme existence gradually awakening in the valley. This was definitely not a good thing for Gu Fei and the others. It seemed that these demons really mastered some kind of demonic secret technique that could give the great sage-level demonic corpse a new life. The heart-palpitating fluctuations of life, as well as the demonic nature that was so powerful that it could trigger the inner demons of cultivators, made everyone feel a sense of danger. A guy who has been dead for countless years can still come back to life? Is that even possible? Outside the Scarlet Blood Demon Star, Gu Fei was incomparably shocked. However, he also knew that it wasn't impossible for someone who had been dead for countless years to be reborn. However, this was definitely not an easy task, nor was it something that could be done in a short period of time. However, no one knew what was going on with the extremely powerful aura of life coming from the valley. No one knew what was happening in the valley shrouded in demonic aura. Kill. The demonic dragon was sent flying thousands of meters away by Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Dao body. He was both shocked and enraged. He immediately rushed back with an endless demonic dragon aura. A pair of dragon claws came down from the sky towards Gu Fei. The huge dragon claws shrouded the entire heaven and earth. The void collapsed and was annihilated. It was extremely terrifying. Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Dao body directly used the 9 secrets of immortal Dao. The 2 huge dragon claws changed direction and collided with each other. Boom! With a loud bang, the 2 huge dragon claws disappeared in the void and turned into a destructive force that swept in all directions. What? The dragon demon's shock was no small matter. Why were his 2 claws colliding with each other? Could it be? The demonic dragon had lived for a long time and naturally had a wide range of knowledge. He couldn't help but change his expression when he thought of a certain possibility. Swoosh. At this time, the demon sage-level demonic weapon flew back and entered the demonic dragon's body. An even more powerful demonic force erupted from the demonic dragon's body. Rumble. The void where the demonic dragon was trembled. The entire world seemed to be unable to contain the unimaginably powerful body of the demonic dragon. Swoosh. The demonic dragon suddenly disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already in front of Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Dao body. He reached out with his claws, trying to take Gu Fei's head away. Primordial Spirit Sword of Dao. Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Dao body used the 9 secrets of immortal Dao. A beam of sword light shot out from his brow, instantly reaching tens of thousands of meters and killing towards the demonic dragon. But with a flash of sword light, one of the dragon claws fell down. Even the powerful body of a saint could not withstand a divine sword of the great Dao. The demonic dragon roared and rushed into the sky, dodging far away. 3 pure ones in one breath. Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Dao body once again used another of the 9 secrets of immortal Dao. His body blurred, and with a swoosh, 3 Gu Feis appeared in the sky. When the demonic dragon saw this, he knew that his guess had come true. Yi Fujian had really cultivated that secret technique, one that was known to be invincible. In ancient times, the 9 secrets of immortal Dao were very famous. The 3 Gu Feis immediately gave chase. Without any suspense, the demonic dragon was sent flying again. No matter how powerful it was, it could not be a match for 3 Gu Feis. That old dragon is going to lose. Chapter 2152. Just as Gu Fei's immortal venerable Dao body was about to kill the demonic dragon, an extremely powerful wave of demonic power erupted from the opposite valley. A wave of demonic power swept out from the valley and swept the demonic dragon into it. Gu Fei's immortal venerable Dao body was taken aback. The demonic power from the valley suddenly became many times stronger, as if an ancient demon's great sage had awakened. How is this possible? Did these demon bastards really resurrect the demon's great sage? Gu Fei's immortal venerable Dao body had a solemn expression. At the same time, in the starry sky thousands of miles away from the Scarlet Blood Demon Star, Gu Fei's main body was also taken aback. The monstrous demonic chi that rushed out from the valley could be clearly seen even in the starry sky thousands of miles away. Within the demonic chi, there was a huge demonic shadow looming. What's going on? The demon's great sage died for countless years. How could they be resurrected? But this power, Gu Fei's main body muttered to himself. Could it be that those people were the ones who had awakened the great sage of the demon race's demon Tao source? These demons weren't trying to resurrect the great sage of the demon race, but to obtain the great sage of the demon race's demon Tao source. Whether it was the human race great sage or the demon's great sage, there was a source of power in their bodies. Although the demon's great sage had died, the demonic power source in their bodies should not have dissipated. Gu Fei seemed to have figured it out. This was an evil cultivation method of the demons. In ancient times, there were demons who specially dug the tombs of some powerful figures and stole the corpses in the tombs. But for powerful existences who had cultivated, even if they had died for countless years, the power source contained in their bodies might not have completely dissipated. Devouring the power source of others to improve one's cultivation was a shortcut in the demonic path. This method was even better than devouring the souls of living beings. At this time, an unparalleled demonic power surged out of the valley, shaking all directions. All the living beings on the entire star felt danger. Even the other two experts of the Devil Clan, who were comparable to the dragon demons, were extremely shocked. I heard that the Devil Dragon led an army to attack the second stage of the ancient road of humankind and brought back the corpse of a great saint. Could it be true? Looks like this matter isn't just a rumor. The two demons were conversing in a low voice. They were both opponents and friends. In the demons, only strength was the only thing. Enemy and friend were just terms. At some point, enemies would become friends. This was demons. The strong preyed on the weak. As long as they were strong enough, they could dominate a region and become the ruler of a region. Damn it! Inside the valley, boundless devil chi was surging. The devil Dao's power was still fluctuating. You don't dare to undo the seal on your body. You want to kill me? Dream on. Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body said indifferently. The entire human world had an unfathomable power that surpassed the heavenly Dao. As long as a sage appeared, the power that surpassed the heavenly Dao would descend. Even a true sage would be obliterated by that power without any suspense. This was also the reason why Gu Fei didn't dare to break through to the sage realm. I'll wait for you to kill me. Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body sat cross-legged outside the entrance of the valley. He didn't attack immediately. He wanted to wait for the demonic dragon to completely devour the devil path origin of the great sage demons. Rumble. At this time, the entire valley began to shake. Pitch-black devil chi shrouded the entire sky. Within the devil chi, Dao runes were faintly discernible. Powerful devil Dao energy was condensing rapidly. The devil path origin of the great sage demons still contained unbelievably powerful devil Dao energy. This energy had been successfully guided out by the demonic dragon. As long as it devoured this energy, the demonic dragon would become the strongest existence in the Scarlet Blood Demon Star. The thought of unifying the Scarlet Blood Demon Star made the demonic dragon extremely excited. Above the tall altar, a 10,000 zhang long devil dragon coiled there. Pure devil Dao essence was constantly overflowing from the devil coffin below and was devoured by the devil dragon. Chapter 2153. An endless amount of demonic energy rushed out from the valley, enveloping almost half of the Scarlet Star. This was simply too shocking. It should be known that this Scarlet Star was not small, but the demonic chi that leaked out of the valley had shrouded almost half of the star. All the demons were shocked to the extreme. It was as if a supreme great sage demons had descended on this Scarlet Star. Even the two overlords of the demons felt their souls tremble. On the Crimson Star, countless demons were howling, terrified to the extreme. At this moment, for all the demons on the Scarlet Star, it was as if doomsday had arrived. The supreme demonic might shocked all the demons. No one was willing to become someone else's slave, especially the devil race. If they wanted the other devil race to submit to them, then they had to be stronger than the other devil race. Only with great power would the other devil race submit to them. This great demon is not simple. In the distant sky, Gu Zhong and the others were extremely shocked. The fluctuations of demonic power coming from the valley in front of them were too strong, forcing them to retreat again and again. The powerful demonic might made their hearts palpitate. What's wrong with Master? Why didn't he take advantage of this time to make a move? Yao Yu said. She was very puzzled. Her master actually allowed the demon in the valley to increase its power. Could it be that Master did not care about the demon? It should be known that in a duel, this was definitely a big taboo. From Yao Yu's point of view, Gu Fei should take advantage of the fact that the demon had not gathered its strongest power to kill it. Master naturally has his reasons for not making a move. At this time, old Jiao, who had not spoken much, finally spoke. Boom! At this moment, a muffled sound suddenly came from the valley. Then, the demonic qi that shrouded the sky began to quickly retreat. A powerful wave of demonic power was rapidly increasing. Haha, it worked. The demon dragon roared. In the valley, above the altar, a pitch-black demon dragon was circling and dancing. The black demon coffin on the altar gradually calmed down. The demonic patterns on the demon coffin had completely disappeared. On the body of the 10,000-foot demon dragon in the sky, endless demonic patterns were faintly discernible, interweaving into mysterious Tao diagrams.
Roar.
The demonic dragon raised its head to the sky and roared. The rolling sound waves dispersed the demonic qi in the surroundings. The entire valley was shaking. At this moment, he was extremely powerful. Master, congratulations on cultivating the great sage demon body. On the altar, around the black coffin, all the powerful demons knelt down and worshipped the demonic dragon in the sky as if they were worshipping the supreme demonic saint. Human, prepare to die. A powerful wave of divine will spread out, and the black dragon above the altar immediately rushed towards the entrance of the valley. After devouring the great sage demon's devil path source, the demonic dragon finally broke through the shackles of his cultivation, allowing him to successfully cultivate the great sage devil body. At this time, the demonic energy in the dragon demon's body was surging violently. He had a feeling that he would not be happy if he did not spit it out, and he also sensed Gu Fei's aura. A black demonic dragon broke through the layers of demonic energy and rushed out of the valley. Bang! Just as the dragon demon appeared, a fist smashed over and directly smashed into his nose, causing him to bleed profusely and cracks to appear on his nose bones. Roar! The dragon demon roared and retreated. He had not expected the other party to be this ferocious, to be able to injure him with a single move. This was unacceptable to him. He had already successfully devoured the great sage demon's devil path source, and his physical body was extremely tough. How could he possibly be injured by the other party? Could it be, as though he had thought of something, the dragon demon's face turned extremely ugly. Swoosh! Just as the dragon demon was about to react, he saw a figure flashing before him. In the next moment, the dragon demon was sent flying thousands of feet away. What great sage demon's devil path source? That's all there is to it. Gu Fei's immortal Lord Dao body roared with laughter, his tone filled with disdain. It seemed like even after devouring the demonic corpse's devil path source, this old dragon did not seem to be that strong. The dragon demon was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. At the same time, he was shocked. Could it be that the other party had not displayed his true strength all this while? How was that possible? At this time, Gu Fei's immortal Lord Dao body strode in the air. With just a single step, he appeared above the dragon demon's head. Then, like an ancient ferocious beast, he pounced towards the dragon demon below and landed on its neck. What? The shock of the demon dragon was no small matter, because he knew very well that if they were to fight in close combat, he would not be Gu Fei's match. Even now, Gu Fei had the upper hand. Bam! Gu Fei's immortal Lord Dao body used his hand as a blade and slashed at the dragon demon's neck. The strength of this strike was extraordinary. The dragon demon's scales were scattered and blood could be seen. He had actually suffered a heavy injury. The dragon demon's huge body was almost split into two. Is this still a human? The dragon demon was shocked to the extreme. He regretted coming out. He shouldn't have come out. Now that he was entangled by this guy, it was absolutely terrifying. The other party's physical body was unimaginably strong. With just a casual slash of his hand, the dragon demon was heavily injured. This made him feel despair. He sadly discovered that even if he devoured the power source of the demons within the great sage of the demons' corpse, he still wouldn't be a match for this guy. Up in the sky, everyone who caught sight of this scene was stunned. This was especially the case for the powerful beings of the devil race. They were petrified right now. This human was way too strong. The two overlords of the demons thought that the human guarding outside the valley was going to be in big trouble. However, the dragon demon that came out of the valley was the unlucky one. The dragon demon roared and soared into the sky, trying to get rid of the guy on his body. However, Gu Fei's immortal lord Dao body stood firmly on the dragon demon's body. Die! Gu Fei's immortal lord Dao body shouted. A purple-gold long sword appeared in his hand. Then, with a wave of the long sword, the huge dragon's head was sent flying. Blood stained the soil. No one could resist the power of the purple-gold divine sword because this divine sword was a supreme divine weapon. Even the physical body of a great sage couldn't withstand a blow from the purple-gold divine sword. The killing intent of the supreme divine sword spread from the wound to the whole body. The vitality of the dragon demon was constantly being erased. Boom! With a loud noise, the huge dragon's corpse fell from the sky, causing the earth to tremble. Bang! At this moment, the dragon's head that was cut off by Gu Fei's sword suddenly exploded. A ball of black demonic light wrapped around a primordial spirit and soared into the sky, trying to escape. Gu Fei's immortal lord Dao body stretched out his right hand and grabbed the ball of demonic light. The primordial spirit of the dragon demon in the demonic light was so scared that it almost fainted. Bang! Chapter 2154. Even an immortal Venerable wouldn't be able to withstand the murderous aura contained in the supreme divine sword, let alone the demons. Even though he had devoured the devil Dao origin of the great sage's corpse, it was still not enough. Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body did not hesitate and directly crushed the primordial spirit of the demonic dragon, causing his soul to scatter and disappear from this world. Everyone was stunned, especially the demons. The demonic dragon was dead. How was this possible? Before this, the demonic dragon had already broken through the bottleneck of cultivation and became a great sage. However, in the human world, no one dared to appear in a state above the sage level. Once the seal on them was removed, it meant death. There was no exception, because those who didn't believe in the supernatural had all died. They had died under the mysterious power that surpassed the heavenly Tao. Even those overlords of the untainted land were no exception. They all had to die. In the past, many saint-level existences had fallen in this way. It was too unjust for them to die like this. The demonic dragon did not remove the seal on his body even after his death, because he had never thought that the combat strength of this human race expert would be so heaven-defying. After the death of the great demon, the devil chi that shrouded the entire world began to dissipate, and the valley reappeared in front of everyone. Open! Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body emitted endless immortal divine light. Divine runes of the immortal Dao emerged on his body, as if there was a supreme great Dao resonating with him. Swoosh! A dazzling sword light rushed out from the hand of Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body. In an instant, it soared thousands of miles and fell towards the valley in front. The sword light of the violet gold divine sword was like a hot knife through butter. As the sword light fell, countless demonic runes collapsed, and all demonic runes were destroyed. A total of 18 layers of demonic formations were destroyed. Even the ancient demonic formation laid down by the demon saint of the ancient demons could not withstand the sword light of the violet gold divine sword. With just one sword, Gu Zhong's immortal Venerable Dao body broke through the defense outside the valley and created an opening in the layers of demonic formations. Go! Fight to your heart's content. Gu Fei's celestial prime body waved its hand, and Gu Zhong and the others immediately rushed over from afar. They rushed into the valley through the gap created by the purple gold divine sword's sword light. A great battle erupted. demonic chi lingered in the valley, and powerful demons could be faintly seen within the demonic chi. Powerful demons rushed out to meet Gu Zhong and the others. Thousand Illusions Demon Body. A woman in a black cloak, surrounded by vast and mighty demons, intercepted Gu Zhong and displayed a powerful demonic technique. In an instant, Gu Zhong was surrounded by the silhouettes of this woman. Illusion. Gu Zhong was startled. Encountering such a powerful opponent right from the start made him incomparably excited. He could feel the battle blood in his body boiling. Kill! The female demons shouted. Countless demonic shadows attacked at the same time. The powerful demonic power instantly drowned Gu Zhong. The demonic power was full of destructive aura from all directions. The demoness of the devil race wanted to obliterate Gu Zhong. Humph! Gu Zhong harumphed coldly. A dazzling golden light erupted from his body. The power of metal surged within his body, and a layer of golden qi gang appeared around him. Bam! Boom! The violent demonic power slammed against the layer of golden qi gang, causing his body to sway unceasingly. However, he didn't fall in the end. Gu Zhong withstood this round of attacks from the female demon. What? The female demon was incomparably shocked. Her opponent was far stronger than she had imagined. Countless demonic shadows were dissipating. Those weren't her real body. She couldn't stay in this state forever. Using this technique required a great deal of energy. It's my turn. Gu Zhong didn't wait for the demoness phantom doppelgangers to completely dissipate before he made his move. A golden fist emitted a brilliant golden light. It was as if a golden sun had appeared in the valley. Under the illumination of the golden light, an endless expanse of demon qi continuously dissipated. Bam! Gu Fei's fist landed on one of the demonic shadows. How is this possible? That demonic shadow was flung away. Demonic blood dripped down from the sky. The female demon was shocked to the extreme. Her opponent was actually able to see through her real body. This was truly unbelievable. Nothing is impossible. Gu Zhong didn't have any protective feelings for the fair sex. He took a step forward and instantly chased after the female demon who was flung away. After that, he directly made his move. Demonic blood. The female demon waved her hands in front of her. She caught a few drops of demonic blood that dripped down from her body. After that, she executed the demon's great technique. A bloody light abruptly appeared. Clang! It was as if hundreds of weapons were roaring. Within the blood-red light, numerous blood-red divine weapons appeared and slashed towards Gu Zhong from all directions. Gu Zhong was taken aback. He could sense a shocking killing intent emanating from the blood-colored divine weapons. These blood-colored divine weapons seemed to have been stained with the blood of a supreme being, causing one's heart to palpitate. Martial domain. Gu Zhong didn't dare to delay. With a loud roar, a ball of golden light radiated from his body, instantly enveloping 100 zhang radius around him. The female demon was also enveloped by the golden light. Clang! Rays of golden light, condensed as countless golden divine weapons, appeared within Gu Zhong's martial domain. After that, they clashed with the blood-colored demonic weapons that were slashing down. The female demon was taken aback. She didn't expect that Gu Zhong had also cultivated such a great technique, able to manifest countless divine weapons to attack his enemies. Countless golden divine weapons and blood-colored demonic weapons clashed against each other, emitting the sound of metal clashing. It was as though they were truly supreme weapons clashing. In the end, both the golden divine weapons and blood-colored demonic weapons disappeared. This time around, the battle between the two experts seemed to have ended in a draw. However, the female demon was very clear that she wasn't Gu Zhong's opponent. One must know that the female demon was using her blood essence to activate the demon's great technique. However, Gu Zhong was able to easily execute a similar technique. This was the difference between them. The female demon quickly retreated into the depths of the valley. At this moment, the 12 bandits were also fighting with the powerful demons in the valley. Zhu Guiliang waved the 5-colored feather fan in his hand continuously. Every time he waved, a colorless divine light would rush out from the 5-colored feather fan. The demons that were struck by the colorful divine light were all sent flying. The Iron Blood Taoist was even more domineering. He was like a tiger that had entered a flock of sheep, pouncing into a group of demons. In the next moment, the group of demons were all sent flying. Some of the demons were already dead when they were sent flying by the Iron Blood Taoist. This was a rare opportunity to fight against the demons. Everyone was giving it their all. Even Yao Yu and Zhong Li Meng were fighting against the demons. No one was willing to miss this opportunity. Chapter 2155. With Gu Fei's support, Gu Zhong and the rest did not have to worry about anything else. They attacked with all their might, causing the demons to retreat. Suddenly, Yao Yu let out a startled cry. A devil expert appeared and directly sent her flying. The black-cloaked expert from the demon clan approached Yao Yu with a sinister smile. His blood-red eyes flashed with an extremely evil light. Swoosh! Just as the demon race powerhouse was about to capture Yao Yu alive, a beam of divine light shot out from the entrance of the valley, directly piercing through the demon race powerhouse's glabella and destroying his soul. That demon race powerhouse immediately died. "Thank you, Master." Yao Yu stood up from the ground and bowed towards the entrance of the valley. Then, she wiped the trace of blood from the corner of her mouth and rushed forward again. Yao Yu and Zhong Li Ming's cultivation base was the weakest among Gu Zhong's group. Even the weakest among the 12 great bandits was much stronger than them. Zhong Li Ming was also in danger during the battle with the demons. Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body had been watching. When he saw that Zhong Li Ming was about to be killed by a demons, he made his move. Although the demons were strong, they were no different from ants in front of Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body. They were instantly killed by Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body. Zhong Li Ming, on the other hand, was drenched in cold sweat. She had never been so close to death before, to the point that she could smell it. Kill! Right at this moment, another devil race cultivator charged towards Zhong Li Ming. Zhong Li Ming roared in anger and pounced towards that devil race cultivator ferociously. He raised his hand, and a handful of heaven and earth single-breath godly lightning beads appeared. Rumble! The heavenly lightning beads suddenly exploded. The destructive force instantly engulfed the demons. The demons did not even have the chance to scream before they were completely destroyed. Oh my God, this woman is so fierce. There were also demons that were staring at Zhong Li Ming, wanting to attack him. However, when they saw this scene, they were given a big fright and quickly retreated into the depths of the valley. Not many demons could withstand the destructive power of the explosion of the heaven and earth god thunder beads. Even some demon powerhouses could avoid it. To think that Zhong Li Ming had such a ferocious side to him. In the starry sky outside the Scarlet Star, Gu Fei couldn't help but be startled when he saw this. Although Zhong Li Ming looked weak, he still had some pride in his bones. At this time, the demons were retreating. Gu Zhong and the others continued to kill their way forward. Wherever they went, they left behind the corpses of many demons. All the demons were retreating into the depths of the valley. In the depths of the valley, there was demonic qi lingering around. A demonic aura that caused Gu Zhong and the others to palpitate emanated from it. It was as if a terrifying demon was hiding there. The power of the demonic dragon is going to be uprooted. In the distant sky, the other two overlords of the demons were incomparably shocked when they saw this scene. They didn't make a move because there was a figure standing in the valley in front of them. It was that figure that made them not dare to act rashly. Don't tell me we're just going to watch our brave warriors get slaughtered by those humans? A demon powerhouse said.
Scram!
The two demon overlords almost wanted to destroy that demon powerhouse. That human wasn't someone they could provoke. Even the demonic dragon had died in battle. No matter how strong they were, they couldn't be stronger than the demonic dragon, who had devoured the great sage demon's demonic source energy. That demon powerhouse had no choice but to retreat far away. After all, these were the two demon overlords of the Scarlet Star. No other demon powerhouse could contend against them. Rumble! At this time, there was a change in the valley. The heart-palpitating demonic aura in the depths of the valley suddenly became stronger, as if some kind of demonic power was awakening. What's going on? Is that the foundation of the demonic dragon clan? The two demon overlords were very clear about the background of the demonic dragon clan. This was also the reason why the demonic dragon clan could establish a foothold on the Scarlet Star. Humph, a last-ditch struggle. At the entrance of the valley, Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Dao body moved and disappeared without a sound. At this time, the battle in the valley became even more intense. All the powerful demons had gathered in the depths of the valley for their final struggle. Human clan, are you going to kill us all? The voice of the black-cloaked demoness came from the depths of the valley. What a joke. The human clan and the demons have never been able to coexist since ancient times. You guys should just obediently accept your death. Gu Zhong led the 12 great bandits and the others to block the group of demons in the depths of the valley. Once they figured out the situation inside, they would start attacking. Humph, even if we die in battle, we will drag you guys down with us. The demoness voice was incomparably cold. Rumble. The depths of the valley was filled with vast and mighty demonic qi. Within the surging demonic qi, one could vaguely see a terrifying demonic shadow. Is that so? Haha, let's see if you have the ability to do so. Gu Zhong laughed. At this time, he did not dare to rush in recklessly. This valley was definitely not simple. The demonic aura coming from inside made everyone's heart palpitate. What's going on? Why do I have a feeling of trepidation? Iron Blood Taoist asked. There's definitely something strange inside. Zhu Guliang waved the 5-colored feather fan in his hand as he walked forward. There were bloodstains on his body. Although he had killed the devil expert, he had also been injured. At this critical moment of life and death, every demon was fighting with their lives. Many of the 12 bandits were injured. Some of them were even severely injured. If it wasn't for Gu Fei's immortal venerate Dao body, a few of the bandits would have lost their lives. Aren't you spouting nonsense? Zhong Liming said. Everyone could sense the fluctuation of demonic energy coming from that place. This demonic energy made them feel threatened. Just as everyone was watching, a figure silently appeared behind them.
Master.
Gu Zhong suddenly turned around and bowed. Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Dao body nodded and walked forward. Everyone was pleasantly surprised to see Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Dao body. Greetings, Master. The 12 great bandits also hurriedly bowed to Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Dao body. Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Dao body did not stop and continued walking forward. He had no intention of stopping at all. He walked straight into the depths of the valley. Human, go to hell. The demoness voice resounded from the depths of the valley. She seemed to be scared out of her wits. Someone actually broke into the ancestral land of her race. There was a powerful demonic energy in the ancestral land that could kill saints. Terrifying demonic energy erupted. A ball of demonic light rushed out and enveloped the entire valley. Countless demonic runes interweaved and turned into destructive energy. Master. Chapter 2156. Boundless demonic energy erupted, and demonic light soared into the sky. Every demonic pattern was as huge as a mountain, filling the space between heaven and earth. It was as if a supreme demon lord had awakened. Rumble. Heaven and earth shook. Gu Zhong and the others hastily retreated from the valley. In the end, the entire valley was shrouded in demonic light and demonic patterns. Master. Gu Zhong and the others were shocked to the extreme. They never imagined that the final move of the Demon Dragon clan would be so terrifying. At this moment, the valley that was shrouded in demonic light seemed to have transformed into a demonic sky. Everything inside was obliterated by the Dao patterns of the demons. This was definitely a power that surpassed the saint rank. Moreover, the power that reigned supreme over the heaven and earth Dao didn't descend. In other words, the one who released this terrifying devil Dao power wasn't one of the old fogies of the devil race. None of the ancient demons dared to undo the seal on them. Not even the real demon lords would dare to do so. Haha, die. The demon girl's maniacal laughter rang out from the valley. Is this all you've got? You still can't kill me. Then, Gu Fei's voice rang out. Up in the sky. All the demons who witnessed this scene were indescribably shocked. The Demon Dragon clan had already used their strongest move, but they still couldn't kill this human. Could this human be in supreme being? One must know that the demonic energy in the valley had definitely surpassed the saint level. In the human world where saint-level experts were extinct, this was already the strongest power. How is this possible? Up in the sky, the two overlords of the demons were dumbfounded. Even they would die if they went in. There was no suspense. Master is fine. Gu Zhong and the others were both surprised and delighted. Master's Tao body was really too powerful. It seemed that there were very few people in the human world who could be his master's match. He thought of the peerless figures on the soaring dragon ancestral star. Perhaps only those people could compete with his master. At this moment, in the valley, a figure stood on the ground like a primordial divine mountain. In front of this figure was a black stone that was blooming with endless demonic light and demonic patterns. Behind this stone that was filled with demonic nature, there were many demons sitting cross-legged on the ground. These people were the subordinates of the demons, and the one at the front was a woman. Dozens of demons were using the demon's secret technique to awaken the powerful demon path power contained within the demon stone. This stone, Gu Fei's immortal venerable Tao body, stared at the fiend stone floating in the void in front of him. His eyes flickered as he sensed the most primitive power of the fiend Tao. How could there be such a monster in this world? Countless demonic runes rushed out of the demon stone and rushed towards Gu Fei's immortal venerate Tao body. The power of each demonic rune was extremely strong. On the immortal venerable Tao body, countless immortal divine runes interweaved and formed a light barrier around it, blocking all the incoming demonic runes. Gu Fei's Yuan Shan Tao embryo fused with the immortal venerable's physical body and seemed to have turned into the supreme immortal Tao. Every move he made was filled with boundless Tao charm. This most primitive power of the immortal Tao was able to resist the powerful fiend power of the demon stone. I'll fight you to the death. The demon girl roused the fiend essence in her body with all her might, channeling the fiend power of the demons into the demon stone in front of her without any regard for the consequences. Buzz. The demon stone vibrated and let out a deafening sound. Demonic runes of the ancient road began to emerge from the demon stone. These were the most primitive demonic runes in the world, possessing unfathomable power. A fist-sized fiend Tao body emanated a demonic nature that made even the immortal venerable's Tao body palpitate. Roar! At this moment, among the dozens of demons sitting cross-legged behind the demon stone, several demons roared and fell to the ground. Their bodies were rapidly withering as their fiend essence chi was devoured by the demon stone. Could this demon stone really be a chaos demon stone? In the starry sky 10,000 miles away from the Scarlet Planet, Gu Fei was extremely shocked. He had some kind of connection with the immortal venerable's Tao body, allowing him to see what the immortal venerable's Tao body saw. The Chaos Demon Stone was an incomparably ancient item that was born in the chaos before the creation of the world. It was the source of evil energy in the world. The most primitive demonic runes were condensed on the demon stone, possessing unimaginable power. However, after countless years, this demon stone had long gone extinct in the human world. Who would have thought that this demon stone of original demon would appear here? Although it was only the size of a fist, this demon stone displayed power that surpassed the sage level. From this, one could imagine how terrifying this demon stone was. Boom! The primordial devil energy erupted like a terrifying destructive tide. With the Chaos Demon Stone as the center, it spread out in all directions. In just an instant, the group of demons behind the demon stone was turned into ashes. All of their bodies and souls were destroyed. This power was so strong that even Gu Fei's immortal venerable's Tao body was sent flying away. What's going on? At this moment, everyone outside the valley sensed the terrifying energy fluctuations that seemed capable of destroying the heavens and earth. Gu Zhong and the rest quickly soared into the sky and flew into the starry sky, not daring to stay on the ground. The other demons also retreated at the first instance. Rumble! The entire valley exploded. Pitch-black spatial cracks extended out in all directions. Each crack was bigger than a mountain. The terrifying primordial devil energy erupted, causing the entire Scarlet Planet to tremble. The scarlet ground cracked, forming huge and hideous cracks. This was definitely a disaster for the demons on the Scarlet Blood Demon Star because the primordial Devil Stone was still devouring the devil energy from all directions. The Chaos Demon Stone soared into the sky like a devil sun, hovering in the sky. Roar! The demons closest to it roared. In an instant, their devil energy was sucked dry by a powerful devouring force, turning them into dried corpses and falling to the ground. All the demons within a radius of 10 million miles were fleeing for their lives. All the demons were losing their devil energy rapidly. Countless demons collapsed, never to get up again. What's that? What's happening? A demon expert roared. A primordial devil energy enveloped more than half of the Scarlet Blood Demon Star. Even the two supremes among the demons were losing their devil energy continuously. The devouring force only disappeared after they had escaped 10 million miles away. However, only the strongest demons could escape 10 million miles away in a short period of time. Countless demons didn't have this ability at all. On the scarlet ground, countless demons had fallen. Roar! The two supremes of the demons roared. Their hearts were bleeding. Almost all the demons under them had died. Only a few powerful demon generals had survived. Just as the primordial devil energy was devouring all the essence in the world, Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Dao body soared into the sky. Using the violet gold divine sword as protection, he broke through the layers of devil energy and arrived in front of Gu Zhong and the others. Then, he extended his hand and kept Gu Zhong and the others into his sleeve. Buzz! The violet gold divine sword emitted a dazzling sword radiance. Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Dao body executed the immortal sword technique. He became one with the sword and rapidly flew away. Let's go. After reuniting with the immortal sovereign Dao body, Gu Fei decisively retreated. The primordial devil stone was too strange. It could actually devour all the essence in the world. Moreover, the primordial devil nature in the devil stone was so strong that even Gu Fei almost fell for it. It definitely had the terrifying power to demonize all living beings. In a star domain 10 million miles away from the Scarlet Blood Devil Star, Gu Fei stopped. With a wave of the immortal sovereign Dao body, Gu Zhong and the others appeared in the starry sky. What's going on? When Gu Zhong came out, he was a little dizzy. He still didn't know what had happened. I didn't expect there to be a primordial devil stone in the depths of that valley. Gu Fei said, Primordial devil stone. When the others heard this, they didn't know what it was. However, they all knew that as long as there was the word demon in it, it was definitely not a good thing. Only Iron Blood Daoist's expression changed drastically when he heard about the primordial devil stone. That's something from before the chaos was formed. How can there be such a thing in the human world? Iron Blood Daoist looked in the direction of the Scarlet Blood Devil Star. In the sky above the star, there was a devil sun that was floating, devouring all the essence in the world. Even the starry sky above the demonic sun became dim and lightless. This thing is definitely a huge threat, Iron Blood Daoist said. With my current ability, it's impossible for me to refine this devil stone. It's even more of a threat if I carry it with me. Let's go, Gu Fei said after pondering for a moment. The origin of the primordial devil stone was too great. It was the most primitive devil stone that was born from the chaos. The devil stone had naturally evolved devil runes on it. To a certain extent, it was the most primitive supreme devil rune in the world. Even if Gu Fei had the mountain and river cauldron, the peerless ominous saber, the violet gold divine sword, and the three boundaries monument, he wouldn't be able to destroy this devil stone. Only a true supreme being would be able to melt this devil stone. In the end, Gu Fei and the others had no choice but to retreat and return to the second stage of the ancient road of the human race. This place was already in ruins. Gu Fei and the others found the teleportation formation in the ruins and continued moving forward. Just as Gu Fei and the others disappeared from the teleportation formation, a golden figure dashed over from afar. Damn it, Gu Fei actually left. It was a woman wearing a golden mask. She was the Golden Goddess. One would not be able to sense the existence of time when performing long-distance teleportation in the void. After an unknown period of time, the eyes of Gu Fei and the others suddenly lit up. Soon after, they appeared in a bright world, and a wave of life aura hit them in the face. This is Chapter 2157. Gu Fei and the rest realized that they were standing on an ancient formation platform. The entire formation platform was filled with traces of erosion left behind by the passage of time. The surroundings of the formation platform were in ruins. Countless vines and weeds grew among the ruins. Further away, towering ancient trees could be seen. It was a primordial forest. From the depths of the primordial forest, the roars of wild beasts could be heard. They had actually arrived at a place full of vitality. However, there were no traces of human activity here. Who knew how long this third stage of the human race had been abandoned? Among the ruins, only an ancient formation platform remained intact. Otherwise, Gu Fei and the rest would not have been able to reach this place. This was the first place that Gu Fei and the rest had come across after leaving ancestral Star Buzhou. The fresh air lifted everyone's spirits. Check the surroundings. Gu Fei instructed Gu Zhong and the rest.
Yes.
Gu Zhong and the rest hurriedly accepted the order and spread out. What they needed to do now was to understand their surroundings and find out what kind of place they had arrived at. Very quickly, Gu Fei and the rest found out what kind of place they were in. It was a barren land. There were no humans here, only powerful wild beasts. Gu Fei and the rest set up camp on the ruins of the third stage. Then, Gu Zhong and the 12 bandits dispersed into the forest outside. To them, a barren land like this was the best hunting ground. Moo. Gu Zhong did not go far before a loud roar came from the mountains in front of him. A giant bull the size of a mountain walked out. This, Gu Zhong was shocked. To think that there would be such a powerful wild beast in this place. The bull's body was pitch black, and it exuded a murderous aura. There were 2 golden, incomparably sharp horns on the head of the giant bull. The legendary extinct golden horned bull. Gu Zhong recognized the bull. He was shocked. The golden horned bull was a creature from the desolate era. Although it was not very powerful, it could still smash a mountain when it went berserk. Why would there be such an ancient creature in this place? Gu Zhong was shocked. At this time, the others also encountered many powerful creatures. Boom! A violent and ferocious aura exploded in a forest. A black godly crocodile suddenly rushed out from a pool in the forest and pounced towards Yaoyu. Kill! Yaoyu roared and waved her hands. A water blue Qi gang immediately rushed out of her hands and chopped at the godly crocodile. Pooh! The water blue Qi aura fiercely hacked on the crocodile's abdomen and sent the crocodile flying upside down into the pond, splashing water everywhere. Yes, Yaoyu was shocked. The godly crocodile did not seem to be injured. It broke out of the water and spat out a pitch-black gas at Yaoyu. The water plants around the pool withered as soon as they came into contact with the black gas. When Yaoyu saw this scene, she was shocked. This godly crocodile was not simple. It spat out poisonous gas. Before the poisonous gas even reached her, the stench already made her feel a little dizzy. Come on, let me practice. Yaoyu moved her feet and instantly moved 7 to 8 zhang. Then, she separated her hands and a mass of water blue light spread out from her body. The sound of metal clanging was unceasing. Powerful water elemental Qi gang quickly condensed. Many divine weapons appeared around her body. Each divine weapon emitted a powerful energy fluctuation. This was a martial arts combat skill that Yaoyu had comprehended when she was fighting with the spirits on Berry Heaven Star. She could release the martial arts energy from her body and condense all kinds of divine weapons to kill the enemy. Countless swords broke through the black gas and directly attacked the godly crocodile. All kinds of divine weapons condensed from martial arts energy were like real divine weapons. They slashed the godly crocodile's body, splashing sparks. This time, the godly crocodile was not as lucky as before. Blood splashed everywhere. The thick layer of scales on its body was finally broken. Some parts even revealed the bones. The godly crocodile roared and wanted to escape back into the pool. However, Yaoyu had no intention of letting this godly crocodile go. Swoosh! She took a step forward and instantly appeared above the godly crocodile. Then, she stomped down. A powerful force appeared under her right foot. Ripples that could be seen with the naked eye appeared in the void. Bang! Kacha! Yao Yu directly stomped on the godly crocodile's head. The godly crocodile's skull immediately shattered. It fell from the sky and smashed many trees. The beast king in this forest was trampled to death by Yao Yu just like that. After killing the godly crocodile, Yao Yu continued to explore. This barren land was very suitable for adventure. Walking in this kind of place, one would encounter all kinds of dangers. In another direction, Old Dragon encountered a huge snake that was as big as a mountain. The dragon and the snake met, and a great battle broke out. The huge snake was extremely powerful. With a sweep of its tail, a mountain was broken in half. Old Dragon revealed his original form. He directly used his dragon claws to grab the body of the huge snake and forcefully tore it into two. Then, he devoured the inner core that was born in the body of the huge snake. The scene was bloody and primitive. This was the most primitive law of the barren land. The weak were prey to the strong. Zhong Liming was also in danger. She was at the side of a lake, and she encountered an azure flood dragon. After that, a great battle ensued. In the end, even though she managed to kill the azure flood dragon, she was still heavily injured. She had no choice but to consume spirit medicine to heal herself, and thus temporarily stopped. At this time, in the ruins, after sending everyone out, Gu Fei opened his inner world and let out all the people of the Meng family who were suitable for cultivation. Go, this is your hunting time. Gu Fei did not say much and directly ordered. Thousands of people of the Meng family immediately rushed into the barren land outside of the ruins and disappeared into the forest. In this kind of place, the Meng family was like a dragon entering the sea. They were originally humans of the barren land and lived in the barren land. They couldn't be more familiar with this kind of place. The Meng family was the target that Gu Fei deliberately cultivated. This line of people cultivated the ancient martial arts that Gu Fei taught them. Their physical bodies were extremely strong, especially Meng Long, who had not cultivated for a long time, but his physical body already had the strength of a dragon elephant. In the future, he might be able to break through to the immortal realm. On the path of cultivation, one could not advance by leaps and bounds. It would not work if one only pursued great strength without tempering one's mind. It was like a child with infinite strength swinging a 100-pound hammer. If one was not careful, they would hurt themselves. Chapter 2158. The third stage of the human clan's ancient road was the same as the first stage. It had been abandoned for countless years. In the vast world, there were only ruins left that the human clan had once appeared in. The ancient ruins were almost completely covered by vines and weeds. Even the teleportation formation platform was among the vines. Fortunately, the teleportation formation platform on the human clan's ancient road was personally refined by the strongest of the human clan with rare divine metal. Even if a sage wanted to destroy it, it would not be an easy task. Even if everything in the third stage of the human clan was destroyed, this teleportation formation platform was definitely not immortal. There were even Dao patterns left by a supreme martial artist on it. Gu Fei soared into the sky and arrived high up in the sky. A wild aura came rushing over. On this land, there seemed to be no other human clan except for them. In the wild mountains, there were shouts from time to time. The people of the Ming clan were hunting wild beasts in the forest. For these hunters, this was both a challenge and a training. That is, at this time, in the direction of the west, thousands of miles away, a monstrous fire appeared. That was the divine fire formed by the fire dragon Qi of the Red Dragon Elder. Looks like the Dragon Elder has met his match. Gu Fei muttered to himself. He saw that the whole sky in the west was illuminated by the red divine fire. In the monstrous fire, he could vaguely see a red dragon in the fire. The Dragon Elder was only one step away from breaking through to the half-saint realm. However, he had been stuck at the ninth heaven and could not advance any further. This might be an opportunity. There were many examples of people breaking through in a life or death battle. Usually, only when they were forced to a dead end would they be enlightened in a hopeless situation. Powerful waves of power came from the west. The wild beast that was fighting with the Dragon Elder was extremely powerful. A strong and fierce aura came from it. Could it be that there are ancient beasts in this place? Gu Fei was a little surprised. It should be known that ancient beasts were all existences that could kill powerful figures. Some of them were even strong enough to kill sages. Old Flood Dragon found it difficult to defeat that fierce beast in a short period of time. At this time, in the eastern sky, Gu Zhong was displaying his divine might and was fighting against a winged tiger. That is, Gu Fei couldn't help being startled when he saw that winged tiger. That was one of the 4 great fierce beasts, the Qiongqi. He didn't expect to see such a peerless fierce beast here. It really is Qiongqi. Gu Fei couldn't help breaking out in a cold sweat for Gu Zhong. It should be known that the 4 great primordial ominous beasts were so powerful that they could slaughter saints. Otherwise, they wouldn't be worthy of their title. It looks like Qiongqi, but it's not the real Qiongqi. Gu Fei muttered to himself. The wings on the back of the tiger were not natural, but were condensed from the 2 divine essences that rushed out of the tiger's body. From afar, even Gu Fei couldn't tell that the wings on the tiger's back weren't made of flesh and blood. However, what was certain was that the tiger that was fighting with Gu Zhong definitely possessed the bloodline of one of the 4 great ancient beasts. Although its bloodline wasn't pure and it couldn't grow a pair of wings, it was still powerful enough to contend against Huang Gu Zhong. However, Gu Zhong didn't seem to be trying to kill it. Could it be that he wanted to subdue it? Gu Fei only needed a moment to figure out what his disciple wanted to do. It seemed that having such a mount wasn't bad. He didn't seem to have a flashy mount. Should I go and subdue a dire beast as a mount? Gu Fei muttered to himself. In ancient times, many great powers of the human race had the habit of subduing strange beasts as mounts. The legendary Dao ancestor also had an azure ox as a mount. Forget it. There's no beast in the desolate world that's worthy of my attention, Gu Fei muttered to himself. His divine sense instantly enveloped the surrounding 50,000 miles. He couldn't sense the existence of any powerful beasts in this area. Given Zhang Xian's current cultivation and experience, ordinary savage beasts weren't enough to catch his eye, unless they were ancient divine beasts like the azure dragon, white tiger, vermilion bird, and black tortoise, or the offspring of these divine beasts. However, these ancient divine beasts had long gone extinct. Their descendants wouldn't necessarily be able to be found in the human world. At this time, Gu Fei sensed that other than the old flood dragon and Gu Zhong, the others didn't seem to have encountered any powerful beasts. They were still rushing forward without stopping. The 12 bandits had already gone 10,000 miles away. As for the iron-blood Taoist, he directly went 10,000 miles away and disappeared without a trace. It seemed that he couldn't find an opponent at all. However, this place was very big and seemed to be endless. This was definitely a superstar. Gu Fei felt a little uneasy. Why couldn't he see any traces of humans on this superstar? In the distant past, something big must have happened here that led to the complete extinction of the human race. Other than some ruins, there was nothing left. However, this place was a paradise for beasts. Even fierce beasts with the Qiongqi bloodline had appeared. It was hard to guarantee that there wouldn't be any heaven-defying beasts jumping out. Gu Fei once again opened his inner world and released the 3 immortal emperors. This time, he didn't order the 3 immortal emperors to participate in the ongoing hunt. Instead, he ordered the 3 immortal emperors to lead a group of their subordinates to clean up the ruins of the human race. The 3 immortal emperors were very efficient. They quickly cleaned up the ruins of the human race. This was the ruins of an ancient city, and the ancient city was not small. From the bricks and tiles on the ruins, it could be seen that this ancient city was once incomparably prosperous. The collapsed city tower was still as huge as a hill. The main road in the ancient city was clearly visible. Each of the blue bricks on the main road was about 3 meters tall and should have weighed 10,000 pounds. It was hard to imagine how such a huge city could be completely destroyed. Could it be that it was destroyed by the experts among the demons, just like in the second stage of the human race's ancient road? This possibility was very high. However, in the ruins of the ancient city, Gu Fei didn't see a single skeleton left behind by the experts of the human race. If the demons had attacked, the ruins of the ancient city should have been full of skeletons. Moreover, The skeletons of the demons were easy to identify because the demon skeletons were all black. Boom! Just as Gu Fei was deep in thought, a loud noise suddenly came from afar. The entire ground shook violently, as if the earth was shaking and the mountains were shaking. What's going on? Chapter 2159. Boundless earth incomparably vast at the end of the southern heaven and earth suddenly. An incomparably huge black chi surged up. The black chi permeated between heaven and earth. It even reached into the endless starry sky. An extremely powerful wave came from the south. Sensing this aura, countless living beings were trembling. Even the most ferocious of beasts became obedient at this time. That is, Gu Fei was incomparably shocked. There was indeed something wrong with this place. The powerful pressure emitted from the black chi. It enveloped the entire great wilderness. Could it be that a demon ancestor has appeared? Gu Fei felt somewhat uneasy. Such an earth-shattering scene. It was really somewhat frightening. Even he was extremely shocked. Could it be that demons were really everywhere? It was really hard to imagine. It seemed that this ancient road of the human race was not as simple as it seemed. It was indeed a road of cultivation filled with dangers. Master. At this time, Gu Zhong rushed back. He was unable to subdue that tiger beast which had the bloodline of the ancient peerless Jiangqi. He couldn't help but feel somewhat unhappy. Rumble. The heavens and earth shook. Within the black chi in the southern horizon, a vague demonic shadow was faintly discernible. A humanoid creature was struggling. It seemed as if it wanted to rush out. What's going on? The voice of the Iron Blood Taoist could be heard. He had also returned. The demonic chi in the south soared to the sky. It seemed that a peerless demon had appeared. This caused everyone to be incomparably shocked. Woo! At this time, Gu Zhong took out a bugle horn and blew it. Then, the experts of the Ming clan, who had been stunned by the demonic power in the surrounding forest, woke up with a start. They all turned around and rushed back to the ruins. Very soon Yao Yu and Zhong Liming and the 12 bandits have returned to the ruins. Everyone looked at the black gas at the end of the southern horizon in horror, all feeling very uneasy, as if they were about to be in big trouble. Gu Fei opened his inner world. He stored the 3 undying emperors and the Ming clan into his inner world. You guys wait here. I'll check it out, Gu Fei said as he flew towards the south. He made no attempt to conceal his powerful aura. Wherever it passes, all the beasts are trembling. The Iron Blood Taoist gave chase. He wanted to see what was going on. None of the others had the cultivation and strength of Gu Fei and the Iron Blood Taoist, so he stayed in the ruins. I don't dare to barge in now. Very soon Gu Fei and the Iron Blood Taoist arrived near the black gas. The black gas had actually occupied an area with a radius of several thousand miles. It was pitch black inside. Even with Gu Fei's martial Dao heavenly eye, he couldn't see through it. Master, this. The Iron Blood Taoist saw this. He was shocked. Roar. There was a faint demonic howl coming from the black gas. It seemed as if there were countless devils roaring. It also seemed as if there were countless living beings wailing and struggling. The demonic aura coming from the demonic chi caused the 2 experts to feel uneasy. If it was an ordinary person, they would have long been aroused by their inner demons. The inner demons of cultivators were very terrifying. Some of them didn't have a strong enough mental state. If they were sexually assaulted by demons, it would arouse the evil side in their hearts. Thus, they would go berserk. This was also why Gu Fei wanted to train everyone's mental state. Roar. Just as Gu Fei was staring at the demonic chi in front of him, a furious roar suddenly sounded from within the demonic chi. Then, a demonic figure shrouded in black demonic flames pounced towards him. How is this possible? Gu Fei's shock was no small matter. This was a demon he had seen before. Back then, in the extreme north of the soaring dragon ancestral star, there was a demon like this. Even the primordial fire god couldn't suppress this demon. Wasn't the primordial fire demon badly injured by a group of almighty beings? You don't know where he escaped to? How could it appear here? At this moment, it was no longer up to Gu Fei to think, because the primordial fire demon, which was so powerful that it made his heart palpitate, had already pounced in front of him. Kill. Gu Fei attacked. He used his strongest technique, the primal chaos fist. He used his strongest combat technique, Chaos Fist, a power of the utmost ferocity. It shattered the void. It turned into a destructive storm. It charged towards the primordial fire demon. So what if it was the primordial fire demon? So what if it was the primordial fire demon? Gu Fei was very determined. Gu Fei's mind was extremely firm. The undefeatable fighting spirit in his heart was burning. This kind of peerlessly powerful opponent. It made the battle blood in his body boil. The primordial fire demon stretched out his hand. The demonic hand instantly enveloped the entire world. It completely ignored Gu Fei's primal chaos fist. At this moment, the Iron Blood Taoist had also met the strongest enemy in his life. An immortal divine bird actually rushed out from the demonic energy in front of them. To strike at him, war broke out. Unavoidable. Gu Fei's fists radiated boundless primal divine light. Broke through the giant hand of the primal fire demon. Rush out. What happened? This ominous demon doesn't seem to be as strong as I imagined it to be. Gu Fei was flabbergasted. You know, the primal fire demon was one of the 5 elements demon ancestors. The day the demon appeared in the north, the primordial fire demon was locked in a battle with the ghost emperor of Fengdu, and finally got away. Even the explosion of the undying body could not kill the primordial fire demon. Gu Fei could be where he is today, all because of what happened at the bottom of the frost jade pool. The yin-yang jade pendant from the immortal body. This primordial fire demon forced the indestructible body to explode. That means a lot to him. There's no doubt about it. As good as killing his benefactor. When enemies meet, their eyes turn red. Gu Fei continued to display his martial arts combat skills. Engaged in a fierce battle with that ferocious demon from the sky to the ground and from the earth to the sky, wherever it passes, the void is destroyed. The 2 super experts are like the gods of destruction. Shatter everything. Destroy everything. Powerful energy waves spread out. The whole world is shaking. Puny human, I will swallow you in one gulp. The primordial fire demon sent out a wave of divine will. Then, in the endless demonic fire, a pitch-black vortex appeared and swallowed Gu Fei. A power that could devour the entire world surged out from the pitch-black vortex. It enveloped Gu Fei in an instant. It pulled him towards the black vortex. Chaos Reversal. Gu Fei used one of the 9 secrets of the immortal path, the Chaos Reversal secret art. A strange power spread out from his body. Then, the devouring power that enveloped him was immediately disrupted. The primordial fire demon seemed surprised. In the demonic fire, 2 cold and fierce gazes appeared. It swept towards Gu Fei. It was as if she wanted to see through him inside and out. At the same time, endless demonic patterns appeared in the demonic fire. They interweaved into an ancient demonic diagram. It suppressed Gu Fei. The energy waves emitted from the demonic diagram made Gu Fei feel danger. The first thing he did was to retreat backward, but the demonic diagram followed him like a shadow. Chapter 2160. The primordial fire demon was extremely powerful. Endless demonic patterns intertwined to form a demonic diagram of sealing the heavens and sealed Gu Fei. The entire world was enveloped by this demonic diagram. All of Gu Fei's paths of retreat were sealed, and he had nowhere to run. Vroom. Just as the demonic diagram was about to seal Gu Fei, a sword chime was heard from the primordial fire demon's body. A purple gold sword aura rushed out and landed in the primordial fire demon's hand. However, the moment Gu Fei held onto the purple gold sword, the demonic diagram that emitted a destructive demonic aura gradually became transparent and then disappeared into the void. The endless demonic flames were dissipating, and the primordial fire demon's figure also became incorporeal. Then, it completely disappeared into the void as if it had never been there. How could this be? Seeing this, Gu Fei was extremely shocked. The extremely powerful primordial fire demon had disappeared without a trace before his eyes. Could this have all been an illusion? Gu Fei was extremely shocked. Even with his state of mind, he had still been bewitched by an illusion. This was too unbelievable. One should know that his mind was extremely firm. At this time, Gu Fei realized that the Iron Blood Priest, who was hundreds of meters away from him, was continuously attacking as if he was fighting against something. However, there was nothing in front of the Iron Blood Priest. He was fighting against the air. Needless to say, the Iron Blood Priest had fallen for it as well. He had already fallen into an illusion and was unable to extricate himself. He was walking step by step towards the demonic aura before him. "Wake up quickly." Seeing this, Gu Fei hurriedly used the divine voice of the Great Path. The divine voice of the Great Path was like a blow to the head. The Iron Blood Priest's body immediately trembled and he stopped. Then, his expression became extremely shocked. How could this be? The Iron Blood Taoist's voice began to tremble. This was simply too unimaginable. Wasn't he fighting against the undying bird? The scene was so realistic. Gu Fei did not say much. He directly opened his inner world and stored the Iron Blood Taoist inside. The Iron Blood Taoist was different from him. He had the purple gold divine sword in his hand. Just now, it was the wisp of divinity on the purple gold divine sword that woke him up from the illusion. If he had not subconsciously used the purple gold divine sword, he would probably still be trapped in the illusion and unable to extricate himself. In the end, he would be lured into the demonic aura in front of him. What's going on? Could it be the legendary demon? Gu Fei knew that the thing in the devil chi was really terrifying to be able to make him fall into an illusion. It seemed that only demonic creatures above the saint level had such an ability. At this moment, Gu Fei held the purple gold divine sword in his hand. The demonic power that emanated from the demonic aura in front of him could no longer affect him. I'd like to see what's causing all this trouble. With the purple gold divine sword in hand, Gu Fei walked directly into the surging and mighty demonic aura in front of him. The purple gold divine sword emitted a powerful wave of divinity that blocked the surrounding demonic aura. This powerful wave of divinity protected Gu Fei and allowed him to walk in the demonic aura without being affected by it. After Gu Fei's divine will merged with the powerful wave of divinity on the purple gold divine sword, it could leave his body and envelop the void within a radius of several dozen kilometers with him as the center. He sensed that there were countless skeletons floating in the gigantic pillar of demonic aura. Most of these skeletons belonged to the human race. However, the skeletons of some of the foreign races were incomparably huge. They were like black flood dragons that were thousands of meters long. Their huge heads were like small mountains. Moreover, their heads had already transformed into dragon horns that only true dragons had. This black flood dragon was incomparably powerful and was in the process of transforming into a true dragon. Gu Fei knew that this black flood dragon was likely to be even stronger than his disciple, Old Flood Dragon. However, it had died here, leaving behind a cold corpse that floated in the demonic aura. There were also many undying corpses of the human race floating in the air. Moreover, these people's clothes were very ancient and did not seem to be the clothes of modern people. Skeletons and corpses were floating in the air. This scene made Gu Fei's heart palpitate. There were actually countless living beings that had fallen here, becoming bones or cold corpses. What had happened here in the distant past? No one knew because those who knew had probably become cold corpses here. Gu Fei discovered that all the corpses had rushed up from below and then sunk back down. Below this demonic aura pillar seemed to be an azura hell. Without hesitation, Gu Fei directly sank down. In the demonic aura, he seemed to be unable to sense the passage of time. All of this was extremely strange. There were corpses floating around him. Gu Fei did not know how deep he had sunk. After a little less than an hour, he finally sensed a huge object below him. It was a stone palace. Gu Fei sensed that this stone palace was directly below him. The entire stone palace was built from a kind of pitch-black stone filled with demonic aura. Gu Fei discovered that these black stones seemed to be chaos magic stones at first glance. However, upon closer inspection, these black stones could not be compared to chaos magic stones at all. These should be ordinary magic stones. Although they carried a demonic aura, these stones did not have natural primordial magic runes condensed from the world. This was the simplest and most effective way to identify chaos magic stones. Within chaos magic stones, There were naturally evolved magic runes condensed from the world. The black stone palace was 70 to 80 feet tall. On the ground in front of the stone palace, there were scattered beads of blood. These blood beads did not seem to have solidified and were sparkling like high-quality agate. Beside the blood droplet, there was also a broken spear on the ground. How is this possible? Seeing this scene, Gu Fei couldn't help but be shocked to the extreme. There was actually blood in this place that had not dried up. One had to know that this place was filled with demonic aura. Even the demonic energy here could not corrode these blood beads on the ground. Could it be that these blood beads were the blood of a supreme being? Or the human emperor's blood? Only the blood of such an existence would not be corroded by the demonic energy. A few blood beads and a broken spear. All of this puzzled Gu Fei. Could it be that a great battle had taken place here? He noticed that other than the blood beads on the ground that still had spirituality, even the divinity contained within the broken spear had completely disappeared. Gu Fei pondered for a long time before regaining his wits. He looked at the half-open stone door as if this stone palace was a man-eating beast, causing his heart to palpitate. Chapter 2161. A demonic hall built from black demonic stones floated in the air. Gu Fei wielded the violet gold divine sword fearlessly as he arrived before the demonic hall and pushed open the stone door. However, the moment he pushed open the door, he saw a figure standing silently behind the stone door, staring at him. What? Gu Fei was taken aback. He never imagined that there would be someone behind the stone door. Goosebumps rose all over his body, and he was about to attack. However, at this moment, he suddenly realized that the person behind the stone door did not emit any aura of life. A dead person. Gu Fei scrutinized the person and saw that the person behind the stone door was a middle-aged man dressed in beast skin. He seemed to be a human from the desolate era. This middle-aged man was not tall. His eyes were wide open, but there was a deathly gray color in his eyes. There was not a trace of divine light in them. What's going on? How did he die here? Gu Fei was bewildered, but the violet gold divine sword in his hand did not emit any strange energy. He pondered for a moment, then walked past the man and entered the hall. When Gu Fei entered the hall, he was immediately shocked by the scene before him. The stone door was filled with white bones, and in the middle of the bones, there was a path made from skulls that extended towards the depths of the hall. Gu Fei was both shocked and angered. This was a path made from human bones, and the translucent skulls still glowed with the light of divinity. How preposterous! Gu Fei gritted his teeth. His eyes were bloodshot. One must know that these skulls were extraordinary to be able to maintain their divinity in a place shrouded in demonic aura. Every skull represented an expert of the human race. It was unknown how many skulls there were on this path. Clearly, countless human experts had died in the hands of the master of this devil hall. Arrogant enough. I'd like to see what kind of demon would dare to use the heads of human experts to pave the way. Gu Fei's killing intent soared. Daring to treat humans like this, even if the master of this devil hall died 1,000 or 10,000 times, it wouldn't be enough to atone for his sins. Without hesitation, he walked forward with his sword in hand. He did not walk on the road paved with human skulls, but walked in the air. A chilling, murderous aura emanated from his body. At this moment, this devil hall was as silent as ever. No aura could be sensed, like a devil hall that has been abandoned for countless years. There was a strange demonic aura lingering around the demon palace, but there were no demons here. This made Gu Fei feel a little uneasy. Everything here was too calm, and it seemed a little abnormal. Just as Gu Fei entered the hall, he saw that there were many corpses strewn across the hall. The demonic aura on these corpses had yet to dissipate. Even after so many years, the demonic aura is still present. Seems like these devils were all major characters when they were alive. As Gu Fei walked closer, he discovered that these devils were actually all killed by someone smashing their heads apart. It was as though they didn't have any strength to resist at all. The master of this devil hall is dead. Gu Fei was very shocked. It wasn't an easy thing to kill such a group of incomparably powerful devils. However, the existence who killed these devils actually did it. He discovered that the reactions of some of the devils were also very fast. Devil weapons were already in their hands, but before they could even attack, their heads were already smashed apart. Gu Fei carefully observed, and to his shock, he discovered that the master of this devil hall didn't seem to have been killed, because the devilish aura on these devils were roughly the same. In other words, the cultivation bases of these ancient devils were similar. Even if there were some ancient devils stronger than ordinary ancient devils, they wouldn't be much stronger. Without absolute strength, these ancient devils wouldn't submit to any expert among the demons. In other words, the master of this devil hall had a peerless strength. However, when Gu Fei carefully looked around, other than the skeletons of the ancient devils, he couldn't find any other powerful corpses of the demons. That one is at the back. Just as Gu Fei was about to walk towards the back of the hall, an ancient devil corpse behind him suddenly stood up without a sound. As the ancient devil corpse stood up, the broken head of the ancient devil actually began to rapidly repair itself. In just an instant, a middle-aged ancient devil appeared in the gloomy hall. Gu Fei took a step forward, but at this moment, his step halted in mid-air. The hairs on his body stood erect as a cold aura spread out from behind him. A devil corpse that has been dead for countless years has undergone a corpse transformation. Gu Fei's right foot lightly landed on the ground. At the instant his right foot touched the ground, he abruptly turned around. He saw a demonic figure standing less than 3 meters behind him. This demonic figure's feet didn't touch the ground. The tip of his toes was pointing downwards as he floated in the air, only half a foot above the ground. Swish! That ancient devil corpse moved, directly floating towards Gu Fei. Its body stiffened as a powerful suction force emanated from it, wanting to pull Gu Fei over. What the hell is this? Gu Fei shook the violet gold divine sword in his hand. Bzz, the sound of a sword humming rang out. That ancient devil corpse seemed to be afraid of the violet gold divine sword and actually didn't dare to move forward. However, it didn't retreat either. Just like that, it stood in a deadlock with Gu Fei. Swish! Gu Fei directly unsheathed his sword. Chapter 2162. The demonic corpse was extremely strange. Even the purple gold god sword could not destroy it. This made Gu Fei feel incredulous. One must know that the purple gold god sword was a supreme sword weapon. Bang! Just at this moment, the ground beneath Gu Fei suddenly exploded. A black shadow instantly rushed out from the ground and fiercely pounced towards him. Humph! Gu Fei let out a cold snort and stomped on the ground, arriving first despite moving later. Bang! Gu Fei's right foot fiercely stomped on the demonic corpse's face, causing the demonic corpse's face to cave in and almost explode its head. Boom! The demonic corpse landed heavily on the ground. The strong impact caused the entire demonic hall to tremble. Cracks appeared on the ground. At the place where the demonic corpse landed, a huge crater appeared. Gu Fei realized that this demonic corpse was not that strong. However, it had an undying demonic nature. It seemed to be an existence that could not be destroyed. Roar! The demonic corpse roared and stood up from the crater. Its deformed face was constantly changing. Its broken bones were mending and flesh was growing again. In just a few breaths, the demonic corpse had recovered. What kind of power is controlling this fella? Seeing this, Gu Fei could not help but feel a sense of helplessness. This was an existence that could not be defeated. Swoosh! He waved the purple gold god sword in his hand. The sharp sword chi sliced the demonic corpse that was charging at him into two. There was no sign of blood or flesh splattering. This ancient devil had been dead for God knows how long. Although the demonic nature in its body had not dissipated completely, the demonic blood in its body was already in a half-dried state. Moreover, the demonic corpse's strange, undying demonic nature bound the demonic corpse's muscles, bones, blood, and flesh together. Nothing in the demonic corpse's body would be lost. The killing intent within the purple gold god sword was extraordinary. After the demonic corpse was sliced into two, it could not recover in a short period of time. Gu Fei took advantage of this moment and headed towards the rear hall with his sword in hand. When he entered the back hall, the two halves of the corpse devil barely joined together and gradually fused into one. Soon, the corpse devil completely recovered, as if it had never been split in half. The corpse demon seemed to be wary of the rear hall. It only paced around the main hall and did not enter it. When Gu Fei entered the rear hall, the first thing he saw was a pitch-black coffin placed in the middle of the rear hall. Upon closer inspection, he discovered that this black coffin was not made of wood. From time to time, a black light would circulate on the surface of the black coffin. The entire black coffin was carved out of a huge black rock. This rock was the Black Demon Stone. Only the experts of the demons would be able to do such a thing. Could it be that the master of the demon palace had really died? The demon palace was strange and mysterious. Gu Fei directly waved the purple gold god sword in his hand and slashed at the black coffin in front of him. Regardless of what was inside the black coffin, he would slash at it first. Although the Black Demon Stone was a rare type of demonic stone with demonic nature, it was still unable to contend against the Paragon Sword.
Clang.
Wherever the sword light passed, the entire black coffin was sliced into two by the purple gold god sword. A black demonic aura rushed out from the demon coffin. Within the demonic aura, one could vaguely see a ferocious demon struggling. Gu Fei was shocked. The demonic aura that leaked out from the demon coffin was very unique. It could transform into all kinds of illusions. An aura that made his heart palpitate seeped out from the demon coffin. Could it be? He thought of something and was extremely shocked.
Bang.
He punched out, and the entire black coffin instantly shattered. There was no corpse within the black coffin. Instead, a skull fell out. That was a pitch-black skull. Upon seeing this skull, Gu Fei only felt as though an incomparably realistic portrait flashed before his eyes. A strange fluctuation emanated from the skull. This was a type of demonic nature contained within the skull. It was a type of demonic nature that could cause people to hallucinate. Even someone as strong as Gu Fei, if it wasn't for the Paragon sword in his hand, would also be affected by this demonic nature and get lost in the illusions. It can cause people to hallucinate and completely lose themselves. Could it be that this skull is the skull of an illusion demon? Gu Fei muttered to himself. In ancient times, a terrifying great devil once appeared. The cultivation of this great devil wasn't that strong, but this great devil cultivated a type of devil Dao secret art that could cause people to hallucinate. The illusion demon used this kind of magic to subdue countless incomparably powerful demons, and also slaughtered countless human experts. In the later period of the Desolate Era, this great devil disappeared. Some people said that this great devil was killed by the human emperor of the human race, while others said that this great devil hid away to avoid the catastrophe. Gu Fei had never thought that he would actually find traces of the illusion demon here. Moreover, this great devil seemed to be really dead. Could it be that the legend was true? This great devil was really killed by the supreme emperor of the human race? Gu Fei thought of the dead middle-aged man in animal skin standing behind the gate of this devil palace. That person could actually die standing, and his body was immortal, and his face was still vivid and lifelike. If the middle-aged man in animal skin was the supreme emperor of the human race, then why did he die here? All of this was a mystery. No one knew that under the ground there was a shocking secret, but no one knew what this secret was. In the entire devil palace, other than the tens of ancient devil corpses in the front hall, as well as that strange devil corpse, there was only the skull and the black coffin at the back hall. At this moment, devil roars suddenly rang out in Gu Fei's ears. The sound was faintly discernible, and on the surface of the pitch-black skull on the ground, there were actually devil runes appearing faintly. After that, illusory illusions appeared around the skull, and within the entire devil palace, a force seemed to have been awakened. Bzz, the violet gold divine sword in Gu Fei's hand vibrated lightly. The sword seemed to have sensed that force and reacted. This was a warning to Gu Fei. Bury my past body, destroy my present soul, undergo nirvana and be reborn. Within the devil palace, a faint divine sense fluctuation appeared. Gu Fei was incomparably shocked. Could it be that all of this was under the control of a mastermind? Someone had set up a heaven-shaking grand scheme, and what was he plotting? Rumble, at this moment, the entire Devil Palace suddenly trembled. The entire Devil Palace seemed to have gained life, as though a terrifying ancient devil ancestor was awakening. Gu Fei didn't hesitate and directly rushed out of the Devil Palace. And just when he rushed out of the Great Hall, he saw numerous devil silhouettes standing there. Powerful devil chi gushed forth from these devil silhouettes. What? Chapter 2163. In the main hall of the Devil Hall, there were more than a dozen demonic figures standing silently. In the main hall that was shrouded in demonic aura, they appeared exceptionally strange and terrifying. How could this be? Gu Fei was incomparably shocked. He quickly looked at the ground and saw that it was empty. There were no corpses on the ground. Needless to say, those corpses that had fallen to the ground had already stood up. Could it be that the demonic corpses that had died for countless years could come back to life? Encountering such a thing, no matter how skilled and courageous Gu Fei was, he couldn't help but feel a chill in his heart. Everything here couldn't be explained with common sense. No one knew what the Huanma had left behind. Could it be that this devil was really going to be reborn? It wasn't that such a thing had never happened before. In the yin-yang jade pendant that Gu Fei obtained from the icy azure pool, there was someone who had gathered endless spiritual energy and was reborn. The person who walked out from the yin-yang jade pendant was the supreme expert who suppressed the devil cave of the extreme north with his own strength. Since there was already a precedent, it seemed that it was possible for the Huanma to be reborn. This was definitely not a miracle. Although it was a huge risk, there was a chance of success. Thinking of this, Gu Fei couldn't help but tighten his grip on the sword. Buzz. The violet gold divine sword was still gently vibrating. This supreme sword had already gained sentience. If it wasn't for the sword soul that was still asleep, this divine sword would have already turned into sword light and flew out. Just as Gu Fei was about to bypass the dozen demonic corpses in the main hall, they suddenly turned to look at him. More than a dozen blood-colored evil lights lit up the dark main hall. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Since you are dead, rest in peace. As Gu Fei spoke, he directly stepped forward. The violet gold divine sword in his hand emitted a supreme aura that enveloped his entire body. The demonic aura that could attract people into the environment was blocked by the aura of the divine sword. It couldn't affect Gu Fei at all. But this time, these demonic corpses were no longer afraid of the supreme sword in Gu Fei's hand. They directly flew up and pounced towards Gu Fei.
Schwa.
Without any hesitation, Gu Fei swung the divine sword in his hand. The two demonic corpses that pounced at him were immediately struck by the sword light and fell from the sky. Gu Fei executed the 8 desolate steps and moved quickly around the hall. Every time he slashed out, a demonic corpse would be cut in half and fall to the ground. However, Gu Fei noticed to his shock that as soon as the corpses of these devil corpses touched the ground, they would immediately connect and fuse together before charging into the sky and continuing to pounce towards him. Although these demonic corpses weren't strong, their immortal characteristics caused Gu Fei's heart to palpitate. These demonic corpses were simply like monsters that were difficult to exterminate. Anyone who encountered such monsters would be terrified. Rumble. The tremors of the entire Devil Hall grew more and more intense. It was as though there really was an incomparably powerful life form awakening from its slumber. Reverse life and death. Return of the true demon. Waves of divine will appeared in the void. Boundless devil chi permeated the area outside the Devil Hall, terrifying to the extreme. Numerous corpses could be seen floating within the devil chi. It was unknown how many lives had fallen within this boundless devil chi.
Scram.
Gu Fei was ruthless. The divine sword in his hand shot out a beam of sword light that was over 10 zhang long, sweeping through everything, directly turning the 3 devil corpses in front of him into dust. After that, he dashed past them and rushed out of the Devil Hall. A path made of crystalline skulls extended towards the entrance of the Devil Hall. At the end of this path, a figure clad in beast hides stood there. When Gu Fei saw this figure, he couldn't help but be shocked to the extreme. He remembered that when he entered the Devil Hall, this man was facing outside. But now, this man was facing inside. What's going on? This place was incomparably bizarre, as though anything could happen here. Gu Fei didn't stop and directly moved forward. He wanted to leave this devil hall as soon as possible. And just when he arrived at the entrance of the devil hall, the gray eyes of the middle-aged man suddenly gleamed with coldness. After that, the middle-aged man in beast hide moved. The middle-aged man in beast hide had a stone cudgel in his hand. That lifeless body of his actually glowed with a divine luster as a surge of vitality gushed forth from him. Not dead. Gu Fei's eyeballs almost fell to the ground. This middle-aged man in beast hide actually didn't die? How could this be possible? But the revival of vitality wasn't an illusion. This was definitely not an illusion. One must know that no matter how powerful the ancient illusion devil was, it was impossible for it to be comparable to a paragon. The power of the illusion devil shouldn't be able to break through the divine chi radiating from the violet gold divine sword and affect Gu Fei's consciousness. Who? The middle-aged man in beast hide heaved a sigh of relief. After that, he stretched his waist as a series of explosive sounds rang out from his body. Swish. That person discovered Gu Fei's existence. His cold gaze instantly turned to Gu Fei. Greetings, senior. Gu Fei cupped his hands and bowed to the middle-aged man in beast hide. This middle-aged man exuded a divine and holy aura. He was definitely not an evil demon. This was an existence so powerful that even Gu Fei's heart palpitated. It was as if he was facing a supreme human emperor. Even when he faced the human emperor divine weapon back then, he didn't feel as much pressure as this. You are. The middle-aged man in beast hide emitted a powerful divine will. This divine will rushed towards the center of Gu Fei's eyebrows, wanting to forcefully read his memories. Gu Fei didn't expect that this middle-aged man in beast hide would be so direct. He wanted to read his memories. Even someone as powerful as him couldn't stop him. However, just when the divine will of the middle-aged man in beast hide was about to enter Gu Fei's brain, the violet gold divine sword in Gu Fei's hand vibrated. The divine will of the middle-aged man in beast hide immediately stopped. Supreme sword. The middle-aged man in beast hide seemed to be very surprised. He stared at the violet gold divine sword in Gu Fei's hand for a long time before looking up at Gu Fei. Huanimo is about to resurrect. This is unstoppable. There will be a great calamity in the world. The middle-aged man in beast hide said. Rumble. The entire hall began to collapse. A powerful demonic aura spread out from the hall. Then, a huge demonic shadow emerged from the hall. What on earth is happening? Gu Fei asked. Huanma wants to become an undying and indestructible devil ancestor. He wants to undergo nirvana rebirth and transform into a true devil body. This devil is really amazing. If I did not discover it in time, he would have succeeded in ancient times. The middle-aged man said. Good heavens! Hearing this, Gu Fei was also shocked. He understood that Huanimo wanted to shed his acquired demon body and become a real demon born from heaven and earth. Chapter 2164. The Spider Empress and Haoren once again returned to the skies above Cloud Mountain summit. Both of their breathing were a bit messy. After several hours of high-intensity battle, moreover against opponents with similar strength, the intense consumption was a bit too much for the two of them. The Spider Empress was covered in cuts and bruises, but the damage wasn't as great as she had anticipated. After frowning, she suddenly revealed a charming smile and said in a mocking tone, Even though your defensive strength is indeed quite shocking, it seems like your offensive strength hasn't made much progress. Same here. Your attack power disappoints me too much. Or is it that my diamond body's defense is too strong? Haoren did not deny that his attack power was inferior to the Spider Empress, but his defense was also far superior. As a result, the two of them suffered similar injuries. Haoren's diamond body was also covered in all kinds of scratches. His body had the ability to regenerate, and he had enough sword chi. As long as the damage did not reach his heart, he could use sword chi to repair it. That was why Haoren had decisively cut off the flow of poison after being corroded by the poison. However, if the rate of damage was too fast, sword chi would not be enough. After all, Haoren still needed to use his sword chi to attack. It's a bit too boring to keep fighting like this. Let's just decide the victor, Howren suddenly said. What do you mean? You want to admit defeat? Even if that's the case, I won't let you go. Haha, admit defeat? You think too highly of yourself, Spider. Why don't you just admit defeat? Let's just use this move to decide the victor. Howren was brimming with confidence, which made the Spider Empress even more vigilant. She watched with rapt attention. Howren's current state was indeed a bit strange. His jade-like body had been completely absorbed by the energy, but now the energy was almost non-existent. The Spider Empress naturally would not admit defeat. She seemed to be tired of this endless battle of attrition. She raised her eyebrows and coldly laughed. Since that's the case, I'll also use this move to end this meaningless battle. Hey, what are they talking about? Zhang Junqing was so anxious that he could only stare at them. His injuries had long since recovered. When he saw that the Spider Empress and Howren had both stopped fighting, he was already itching to go up. However, he heard the two of them muttering something, but he could not hear them clearly. Dongfang Shang was a thief. His hearing was much better than a berserker's. With a cold face, he said in a deep voice, "They're going to decide the battle in a single move. One move to decide the victor. Everyone get out of the way. Prepare your defenses. No one is allowed to go up and die." Qin Yang reacted instinctively and turned around to give instructions loudly. It was obvious even if one thought with their toes. The two of them were going to decide the outcome of the battle with a single move. What kind of terrifying move would that be? This was definitely not something they could interfere with.
But
Tang Lin frowned and said worriedly, Howren's ultimate skill should be in cooldown by now, right? What other ultimate skill does he have that can decide the outcome of the battle in one move? They had seen Howren's ultimate move several times, so they knew that this ultimate move had a cooldown time of 1 day. He had already used it when the Spider Empress changed into her second form, so there was no way he could use it again now. Trust him. Qin Yang sighed softly. Although I don't want to admit it, we have indeed become Howren's burden. Right now, we can only trust him. That's right. Perhaps he comprehended a powerful skill after fusing with the crystal rock snake. Xia Fei encouraged everyone. However, the tone of her voice made it seem like she was constantly comforting herself. Her beautiful face was filled with worry, making others feel pity for her. Howren's upper sword art had already entered cooldown. He still had Bladestorm left, but this ultimate move alone was not enough to defeat the Spider Empress. He was also very clear on this point. However, at this moment, he slowly straightened his arm and raised Thunder's Fury horizontally. Sword Qi gathered around his body, and his black hair fluttered in the wind. Is this a skill you comprehended after fusing with this body? You think you can defeat me with this? Too naive. I'll let you see my true strength. My final and strongest ultimate move, Dark Storm. The Spider Empress raised her voice and let out a long cry. The sky was once again filled with dark clouds, and the dark clouds began to descend rapidly in the shape of a vortex. Thunder rumbled, and countless black auras began to spread from all directions, quickly gathering around the Spider Empress body. This scene caused Howren to be slightly taken aback, because the scene on his side was exactly the same. The clouds in the sky were also rapidly gathering, but they were not dark clouds. Instead, they were thick white clouds that were also stretching downwards in the shape of a vortex. Both of them were desperately accumulating the last of their strength. Because of their powerful battle prowess, they could even affect the weather. The surging light in the surroundings was the energy layer that covered the sky. Looks like our ultimate moves are about the same. My ultimate move is called Bladestorm, but in my current state, Bladestorm has already changed. Calling it Diamond? Bladestorm would be more appropriate. Diamond? Bladestorm? So what? I'll just mention it in passing. In the previous civilization era, I used Dark Storm to instantly destroy a city. Haha, don't be afraid. I just want to give you a reminder. Don't think about avoiding it. You can't avoid it. No one in this city can avoid Dark Storm. Howren was indeed taken aback, but he was not afraid. He said, You existed in the previous civilization? You existed in that magic civilization era? Heh, I couldn't tell, but you're actually an old woman. The Spider Empress did not seem to mind and continued to say, Honestly speaking, You humans are far too lacking compared to the previous civilization era. You humans are too young, so young that it's almost ridiculous. Being older doesn't necessarily mean you're powerful. How stupid. Civilizations need time to settle down. The previous civilization era developed for 280,000 years, the third civilization era developed for 460,000 years, and the second civilization era developed for 6 million years. What about you humans? Haha, what a joke. Old witch, are you done yet? Unfortunately, you've lived for so many years, and the magic civilization has not been able to kill you, yet you're going to die at the hands of the human civilization. I wonder what that feels like. Just you? The Spider Empress laughed condescendingly. That's right. Just me alone is enough.
Howren laughed proudly.
Diamond? Blade Storm. Dark Storm. Chapter 2165. Diamond Blade Storm, mutated, quality, gold learning requirement. Possesses the Sword Saint Gold skill, Blade Storm. Diamond Blade Storm can be activated after merging with any crystal-type creature through a soul contract. Skill description: Blade Storm Enhanced Version. The power increases depending on the energy stored in the crystal. Every additional energy stored doubles the damage. Special skill crystallization. Blade Storm's damage is converted to crystal damage. This was the strongest skill Howren had obtained after fusing with the crystalline rock snake, Diamond Blade Storm. Although it did not have the powerful sword aura boost of the Supreme Sword Art, the Diamond Blade Storm skill clearly stated that the amount of energy stored in the skill determined the multiplier of the skill's boost. I think you must be wondering why I purposely took the damage from so many of your energy balls. Humph. If you didn't use your body to hit the energy balls, your friend would be finished. The Spider Queen harumphed coldly. However, she had a bad feeling in her heart. As expected, you've underestimated me. Do you really think that with my current speed, I won't be able to break your energy balls with just my sword chi alone? Howren shook his head and suddenly shouted, I'll tell you the answer now. I'll return all the energy you've given me. Within his sparkling and translucent body, the 5 colored spheres of light suddenly left his body one after another, entering Thunder Fury. In that instant, the sword energy around Howren's body expanded over 10,000 times, surrounding all of Cloud Mountain. In addition, it instantly broke through the barrier the Spider Empress laid down, continuously extending, reaching a range of 1,000 meters. If a single energy unit could double the damage, then Howren's Diamond Blade Storm would increase by tens of thousands of times. Fortunately, he encountered a powerful enemy like the Spider Empress. Otherwise, ordinary opponents wouldn't be able to instantly release such a powerful energy attack for Howren to absorb, and then have enough time to slowly convert. TCH, the Spider Queen's face was ashen and twisted. Rather than saying she was angry, it was better to say that she was afraid. The shocking sword chi that the young man in front of her was truly a threat to her existence. Moreover, this was under the premise that she had released her final arachnid form. With just this power alone, it is indeed comparable to the previous civilization era. It really is enough to be mentioned in the same breath as the last great civilization. However, what a pity. The Spider Empress roared out malevolently. The last great era was also destroyed like this. Die, Dark Storm. Boom. The black aura around the Spider Empress suddenly began to revolve, fast to an unimaginable degree. This was actually a storm that revolved at high speed. To the naked eye of an ordinary person, there was only tranquility under the pitch-black sky. When the storm reached its limit, it had already exceeded the limits of what the naked eye could see, but under this tranquility, there were turbulent waves. Pa! A huge rock slowly floated away from Cloudy Mountain. When it was only a few meters away, a black wind blade flashed across the sky, and the rock instantly disappeared without a trace. He was right. This rock didn't shatter, nor did it turn into powder. It just disappeared into thin air. Not to mention powder, not even a speck was left. Someone like Jiang Junqing, who had high combat strength, could see it clearly. He couldn't help but shiver as he turned around and yelled at the others, "Run! Stop King defending." Everyone was still stunned. Yang Feng smacked his lips and retorted, What nonsense are you talking about? How could we possibly escape? Although I can't see anything, but it's clear that we can't outrun the Spider Empress Darkness Storm. Defense is the best way. You idiot. Didn't you see it just now? An attack that can even annihilate the tiniest speck of dust. How could we possibly defend against it? We can't defend against it. Any defensive skill is useless in front of this darkness storm. It's not on the same level. Qin Yang was the first to understand. Without thinking, he broke into a run and rushed down the mountain. In any case, the barrier around them had already been broken by Hao Ren's sword qi. Now was a race against time. Running 1 more meter might increase their chances of survival. Seeing Qin Yang running, the others weren't stupid. Regardless of whether they understood Jiang Juanqing's words or not, they all began to retreat as fast as they could. Among them, there were those with escape acceleration skills, such as Tang Lin's rocket jump and Dongfang Shang's blink. They didn't hesitate to use them. Although I don't understand what's going on, it seems to be very powerful.
Hao Ren frowned and muttered,
Foolish humans, this is true power. A power that belongs to the molecular level of destruction. You will never understand. Before he finished speaking, Hao Ren's dark white diamond blade storm and the Spider Empress darkness storm finally collided on the summit of Cloudy Mountain. The heavens fell, and the earth cracked. The earth quaked, and the mountains shook. The entire Jinling city was shaking violently. In the area closest to Cloudy Mountain, countless huge cracks appeared on the ground. Boiling underground water sprayed everywhere, and even surging magma spewed everywhere. The ground began to collapse slowly, and flames soared into the sky. It was like hell. The aftermath of the collision between the black and white forces surged into the sky like a sharp sword, shooting straight into the vast universe and forcibly cutting the sky in half. The sky began to darken rapidly, and colorful lights flickered. It was like the scene before the end of the world. Aurora. It's an aurora. Someone in the team who was still escaping had some understanding of physics. Seeing this scene, he was shocked and said loudly, "Oh my God! Their power actually pierced through the electromagnetic layer. How powerful is the impact of this energy? What does this have to do with the electromagnetic layer?" Yang Feng did not understand. The so-called aurora is simply the phenomenon produced when the solar wind collides with the electromagnetic layer. And now, the energy fluctuations produced by their battle are already comparable to the energy of the solar wind. How strong is the energy of the solar wind? Don't talk nonsense. I don't know how strong it is, but I know that if we don't hurry up, we will be annihilated in this energy storm. Not to mention these people who were in a hurry to escape, the pressure Hao Ren was under was no small matter. An ordinary blade storm could only last for 10 seconds, but the diamond blade storm did not have a clear time limit. As long as there was enough energy, it could spin indefinitely. The blade storm and the dark storm had already clashed for 7 or 8 seconds, but Hao Ren's sword was still unable to break through the thick darkness. Of course, due to the restrictions of the blade storm, the scale of the dark storm did not expand rapidly. Otherwise, it would really be like what the Spider Queen said. The dark storm would destroy the entire city in an instant. The surroundings were undergoing earth-shattering changes. On the contrary, the center of the storm was calm like a pool of stagnant water. The two storm forces had unexpectedly reached a delicate balance. Both of them had done their best, and there was no room for error. But this was the extent of it. Neither of them dared to relax. Even half a second of relaxation could cause their spinning storm to be completely engulfed by the other party. At that time, the power they had to endure would be dozens or even hundreds of times stronger. Regardless of whether it was Hao Ren or the Spider Queen, they would definitely die in their current state. 20 seconds passed, and Hao Ren's power was the first to loosen. This could not be helped. The power of his diamond blade storm mainly came from the energy he had absorbed from the Spider Queen. Although this energy could temporarily be used by him, it was a consumable, and the more he used, the less he would be able to use. At the start, he could still barely maintain the stalemate, but as time dragged on, and as the consumption increased, Hao Ren gradually fell into a disadvantage. The Spider Queen was not a merciful person. As long as there was the slightest opening, she would immediately use all of her power, urging the dark storm to slowly suppress Hao Ren. 30 seconds passed. No, that's not right. The power is disappearing faster and faster. This is impossible. Howren frowned, and large beads of sweat flowed down his forehead. He looked at the darkness that was engulfing him at the edge of the storm, and said softly, "Damn it. The corrosive nature of this dark storm can even engulf the sword chi of the blade storm? Human, that's why I said you really don't understand anything. I already said that my dark storm is a power at the molecular level. How can a mere blade storm stop it?" The Spider Queen's roar came from within the dark storm once again. Power at the molecular level? What exactly do you mean? How pathetic. Pathetic, my ass. If you don't want to say it, then so be it. I'm not afraid of you. The Spider Queen was silent for a moment. As the speed at which the dark storm was engulfing him increased, Howren's blade storm was greatly shrinking. As if victory was already in her grasp, she slowly opened her mouth. "I'll let you die knowing. You don't even know the basic levels of power. This is common knowledge in all civilizations and eras. Normally, in our dark world, power is divided by the degree of destruction caused by power. The destruction of the surface of an object, the destruction of the entire structure, and then the destruction at the molecular level. This is not simply breaking or shattering an object, but directly destroying the molecular layer of an object. Let alone residue. Not even powder will be left. Everything in the world is made up of molecules. In the end, your sword chi is also made up of molecules. As long as it is a molecule, my dark storm can destroy it. What a power that can destroy molecules. If that's the case, then your dark storm being able to destroy a city really isn't bragging." Howren did not reveal the slightest dejection or fear of failure. Instead, he smiled lightly and said, "Thank you for answering my greatest question. You no longer have any value to me, so just die." "What did you say?" Chapter 2166. Crystallization. Howren originally had some doubts about the Diamond Bladestorm ability, but the Spider Queen's explanation made him even more clear about its characteristics. As the crystallization was activated, a large amount of pure white crystalline matter surged out from Howren's body, instantly filling up the Bladestorm. As the storm spun, these crystals were like flower buds, slowly blooming the most beautiful petals. The so-called crystallization was to start crystallizing from the molecular structure, making the Bladestorm as one. The entire storm was like a solid and unbreakable molecule, unable to be destroyed by any power. Howren's continuously flowing energy began to slowly flow back. Just like how the darkness storm could devour his Bladestorm, the crystallization of the Diamond Bladestorm could similarly turn everything the storm touched into a part of its own crystal, merging it into this enormous molecule. To put it more plainly, it was replenishing its own energy. The Spider Queen's darkness storm began to quickly shrink, while the crystallized Bladestorm rapidly expanded. In the blink of an eye, it had completely swallowed up the entire Cloud Mountain. The amount of energy replenished by crystallization was also different. For example, if it was just ordinary rock fragments, then the amount of energy replenished was basically negligible. However, this was the Cloud Mountain, a place where large amounts of ores were stored. There was nothing better at replenishing energy than these ores. After all of the ores on the Cloud Mountain had been crystallized and absorbed, the Bladestorm had also expanded to a terrifying degree. That's why I said that this is the time of your death. You old witch. Howren activated this energy that he had obtained with great difficulty, gathering all of his strength and sweeping towards the darkness storm. Amidst the whistling and thunder, the crystallized Bladestorm finally surpassed the darkness storm. It continued for more than 10 seconds before finally disappearing without a trace. The Bladestorm also gradually stopped. Howren floated powerlessly in the air, gasping for breath, but he did not dare to relax. He nervously searched every inch of the ground around him. The Cloud Mountain had already completely disappeared in that attack just now, leaving behind only a large crater and a desolate plain. It was impossible to hide here. After observing for a while, Howren finally let out a breath, his crystalline body also undergoing a series of transformations. He gradually returned to his normal body of flesh and blood. Then, he fell to the ground as if he had lost all his strength. Qin and the others had been watching from the side for a long time. Seeing this, they hurriedly rushed over. Yang Feng activated charge and was the first to rush over. He leaped high and caught Hao Ren. When Hao Ren landed heavily on the ground, Xia Fei's healing beams continuously landed on him. Don't waste your mana. This guy is at full HP. He doesn't need healing at all. Yang Feng took a closer look and couldn't help but mutter, "What a monster! Such a fierce battle. Yet he's not injured at all? Are you kidding me? Then why hasn't he woken up yet?" Xia Fei's beautiful eyelashes trembled slightly. His voice trembled uneasily. "I'm too tired. After using such a powerful force, it's normal for him to faint," Qin consoled. Pong. Almost at the same time, there was another heavy thud. The crystal rock snake's huge body also fell to the ground not far away. The snake struggled to get up, but it quickly went limp on the ground. It was obvious that it had used up all its strength. It didn't even have room to move, and its crystalline body had lost a lot of color. Zhang Junqing and the others almost instinctively pulled out their weapons and entered a combat state, staring at the crystal rock snake vigilantly. No matter what, the opponent was a mutated monster. When they had a common enemy like the Spider Empress, they could still temporarily cooperate. But now that the Spider Empress had been eliminated, who knew what this snake would do? They might even harbor even more malicious thoughts. The crystal rock snake was admittedly very strong. At its peak, apart from Hao Ren, no one present could hope to defeat it. But now, it looked like it was half dead. If they really fought, they might succeed. High-level monsters were equivalent to silver equipment or even gold equipment. Everyone looked at each other strangely, trying to guess what the others were thinking. Of the 20 or so people present, it would be impossible to say that no one was tempted by the possibility of obtaining gold equipment. However, no one said anything. After all, the crystal rock snake had stood on the same side as them. Moreover, after fusing with Hao Ren, it had defeated the Spider Empress, which was equivalent to saving all of their lives. No matter what happens in the future, at least for now, it is our ally. Glory doesn't have a rule to attack allies. Qin was the first to express his stance, allowing the others to breathe a sigh of relief. With Qin status in Glory, no one else had any other thoughts. Qin continued to instruct, "Xia Fei, heal this snake as well." It seems that after fusing with the snake, it's full health. However, the damage from falling from such a high altitude wasn't small. A few rays of healing light quickly enveloped the great rock snake. It was evident that the human's healing techniques were effective. The crystal great rock snake slowly opened its eyes, looked deeply at Xia Fei, and nodded. "Human, thank you for your help. What about the contractor?" The crystal rock snake turned its head towards Hao Ren. "Contractor? Oh, it's Hao Ren. He's still unconscious. Let me do it. I just ended the soul contract with him, so our souls are somewhat similar. That's why I can wake him up in advance." The crystal rock snake slowly moved over. Although they were temporarily treating the crystal rock snake as an ally, they didn't let down their guard against it. Especially when facing this powerful body, everyone's vigilance was raised to the maximum. Qin nodded lightly, indicating for Yang Feng to put Hao Ren down. Then, the crystal rock snake bent down and placed its crystal forehead on Hao Ren's body. The entire movement was very careful. After a moment, when the crystal rock snake straightened its body, Hao Ren opened his eyes slightly. "So, this battle is over, right?" Hao Ren asked, rubbing his head, which was still faintly aching. Qin chuckled and said, "Don't worry. The Spider Queen is definitely dead. Don't forget about the Spider Queen's revenge quest we received from the Adventurer Center. It's currently completed. Oh right, there's also that purple quest. I almost forgot about it." Hao Ren couldn't help but feel excited. The purple quest rewards were quite good. Let's not talk about the rewards for now. What about the items dropped by the Spider Queen? They couldn't have been wiped out by your blade storm, right? Chapter 2167. The Glory members started rummaging through the equipment scattered all over the ground, while Hao Ren sat to the side to recover his stamina. The crystal rock snake saw that he was almost fully recovered, so it nodded and said, "The contract between us has been completed. It's time for me to leave. High-quality update. Are you sure you don't want to stay? Howren wasn't willing to give up. Under the fusion state of the soul contract, his combat power had increased by an unimaginable amount. The power of the diamond blade storm left him thinking about it endlessly. No, I have my own path. The crystal rock snake refused straightforwardly. Your path? Howren narrowed his eyes and asked, Forgive me for being blunt, but what path do you want to walk? Do you want to fight against humans? I'm not that stupid. The Earth is too big, and my race and I live in the underground space. We don't have any conflict with you humans, so I won't deliberately start a war with you humans. Of course, if you come to provoke me, I won't show any mercy. Howren relaxed slightly. As long as you don't become enemies with us humans, anything else is fine. After all, I've fought alongside you before. I really don't want to cross swords with you again. You're no match for me, the crystal rock snake said honestly. Howren rolled his eyes. He didn't want to discuss this. Instead, he sighed and said, But the increase in strength after our fusion is indeed very powerful. Right, do you still have self-awareness after the fusion? Although you're the main body during the fusion, and I can't control your body, I can clearly sense your every move. The power of the soul contract is much stronger than I imagined. I'm really curious how you obtained the Spirit Envoy class. Yes, after the fusion, my body has the characteristics of crystals. I can absorb all energy and damage for my own use. My defense has increased by at least a dozen times, but my attack power hasn't increased much. The crystal rock snake thought for a moment and said, I think the fusion of the soul contract will change depending on who you fuse with. If you can find someone else to fuse with, you'll naturally obtain completely different abilities. High-quality update is coming. I think so too. I just can't bear to part with the power of the diamond blade storm. Howren smiled and expressed his regret. If you hadn't absorbed so much of the Spider Queen's energy supply in advance, the diamond blade storm might not have been able to display such power. The man and the snake remained silent for a while. Then, the crystalline rock snake slowly said, Your companions seem to have returned. I have to go. Once again, I want to express my gratitude to you. It's because of you that I was able to evolve to this stage. Howren knew that the rock snake was wary of other humans. However, at the same time, Qin Yang and the others were also very vigilant. Forcefully keeping the crystalline rock snake would only bring about endless trouble in the future. Howren did not try to persuade them to stay. He sighed and said, I hope that we won't be enemies the next time we meet. Good luck. With a loud rumble, the crystal rock snake finally burrowed into the ground. As for where it was going, this was not a problem for Howren to consider. After eliminating the Spider Empress, the Dark Imprint automatically disappeared. The system notification rang out in Howren's mind again. Almost at the same time, the back of Howren's hand lit up with a strange black luster, and the darkness mark gradually disappeared. Howren remembered that he had obtained this darkness mark when he killed the venomous spider. Although he could obtain additional experience and doomsday coins, he would also receive a soul curse. But correspondingly, they would also be cursed. Once they died, their souls would forever fall into the world of darkness and become puppets of darkness. Now that the darkness mark had disappeared, Howren did not know whether he should rejoice or be disappointed. This could be considered one of his cheat cards. Without the mark, the experience required to level up would only increase, and the path of leveling up would only become more difficult. Detected that the host has killed the Spider Empress, a low-rank demon from the Dark World. Obtained intermediate darkness mark. Killing any monster grants plus 50 experience and plus 50 doomsday coins. Killing a rare monster grants plus 50 honor points and plus 50 damage to dark creatures. Warning: the host's soul has been cursed by darkness. If the host dies while the intermediate darkness mark is active, the host will fall into the Dark World. After obtaining the intermediate darkness mark from a high-rank upgrade, the host's coordinates will be permanently exposed to all dark creatures. At all times, the host will become the target of all dark creatures' hatred. After the host kills a sufficient number of middle-rank demons, the mark can evolve into a high-rank darkness mark. On the back of Howren's hand, the darkness mark that had just disappeared reappeared. Compared to the previous darkness mark, This darkness mark had an additional flower petal, making it look even more enchanting. Hao Ren was stunned for a long time, then smiled bitterly. It seemed that he had no way of getting rid of this darkness mark. The intermediate darkness mark gave him a lot of bonus points. This was 50 points. If it was someone else, they would probably be drooling. However, the warning behind it was also shocking. Permanently exposing your coordinates meant that no matter where you hid, dark creatures could find you. As for the priority of hatred, Hao Ren could only smile bitterly. In the future, when he fought against dark creatures, he would become a natural meat shield. Perhaps others would say that Hao Ren was already so strong. How could he be afraid of a mere dark creature after defeating the Spider Queen? Moreover, there were no creatures stronger than the Spider Queen in Jinling City. However, Hao Ren knew that killing the Spider Queen was not the end, but the beginning. The Spider Queen was only a low-rank demon, which meant that there were many middle-rank demons and even high-rank demons waiting for him. In short, no matter how one looked at it, after upgrading the intermediate darkness mark, Hao Ren had obtained a lot of benefits. At the same time, his danger factor had also increased significantly. The harvest from killing the Spider Queen was also considerably bountiful. Hao Ren had directly risen from level 29 to level 30. Moreover, he had obtained a reward of 50,000 honor points. However, he did not know what kind of equipment the Spider Queen would drop. After waiting for over an hour, the players that had been searching for equipment returned one after another. After all, the loot was from an elite monster. If they lost one or two pieces and someone else picked them up, they would truly cry tears of regret. Although it is indeed a good thing to be cautious, you guys don't have to expand your search range by several kilometers, right? Hao Ren could not help but grumble as he waited. Very quickly, however, his attention was attracted by the luster of the equipment in everyone's hands. Gold equipment had a unique luster effect. Judging from the equipment in these players' hands, a majority of them were actually gold rank. The Spider Queen has given us a huge gift. Let's take a look at our harvest. Everyone looked forward to the harvest. The Spider Queen had dropped a total of 20 pieces of equipment and 5 skill stones. Among them, the lowest was silver rank. There were also 10 pieces of gold equipment and 2 gold skill stones. Seeing everyone's excited expressions, Hao Ren faintly smiled. After carefully inspecting every piece of equipment, he said, "Then, according to Glory's rules, we'll auction the equipment using contribution points. Everyone, do you have any problems with this?" Qinyang and the other veterans naturally had no problems with this. As for Dongfang Sheng and the others who had just joined the team, they had clearly been informed of this peculiar distribution method. They immediately nodded in agreement. Then, let's start with the silver equipment. Hao Ren went through the equipment one by one. Among them, no one wanted the silver equipment, such as the armor. Of the 20 or so people here, the worst equipment was silver rank. Naturally, they were not interested in the equipment. After asking a few times for a price, no one responded. However, a few people were still interested in the silver accessories. A few gold accessories had also dropped this time. However, these people had only recently joined Glory. They knew that their contribution points were limited. They definitely would not be able to obtain gold equipment, so they simply chose the silver equipment. After a quarter of an hour, all the silver equipment had been distributed. Afterwards, everyone's attention was on the main event. Extreme Ice Heavenly Silkworm Gauntlet. Wow, it increases casting speed by 100. Alright, let's start the bidding. Sun Wan and the other mage's eyes immediately lit up. For magic classes, this was a piece of equipment that increased casting speed by 100. She immediately called out a price without hesitation. Sun Wan, forget about it. You already got the gold mithril gloves last time, right? Gold equipment is still very rare right now. Try to give it to those who don't have it. Hao Ren tactfully said. Sun Wan pouted a few times, but in the end, she still chose to give up. However, she still asked unwillingly, "But Lu Shui, isn't your elven priestess a healer? Why does she need this equipment?" The elven priestess pursed her lips. Of course she needs a healer. Think about it. Originally, a heal would take 3 seconds to cast. Now, it only takes 5 seconds. This is a crucial life-saving skill. In short, As long as it's a magic class, let's all bid. The scene suddenly became like a market. The sound of bidding got louder and louder. In the end, this equipment was won by Xia Fei with more than half of the contribution points. The few magic equipment had been auctioned off, and the remaining 5 belonged to the physical classes. Howren raised a piece of armor and said, Heaven's Punisher's Holy Helmet, Gold, Agility-type equipment. The starting price is 1,000 contribution points. I bid 2,000 contribution points. Jiang Junqing was about to bid, but he forcefully swallowed his words. Everyone looked at each other, and no one called out a price for a long time. Howren didn't know whether to laugh or cry. No way. Don't you guys need this gold helmet? Yang Feng laughed and said, Who would compete with you? Our lives were saved by you. Everyone had a look of conviction on their faces. As long as Howren wanted the equipment, they probably wouldn't fight for it. This battle had once again allowed them to witness Howren's strength as the #1 player in Jinling City. As long as Howren was strong enough, he would be able to protect Glory and the city. Everyone thought so. All right, then I'll take this Heaven's Holy Helmet. Heaven's Punisher's Holy Helmet quality, Gold effect, increases strength by 150 points, increases stamina by 150 points, increases agility by 150 points. Secondary absorption effect. Each of your normal attacks has a 10% chance to increase your basic attributes by 1%. Lasts for 1 minute. This effect cannot be stacked more than 50 times. Chapter 2168. The middle-aged man in animal skin was actually a supreme emperor of the human race. In ancient times, this human emperor killed his way into the lair of the Huanma demons and killed all the demons there. This demonic hall was where the Huanma Nirvana was located. It was guarded by 13 demon generals, but the 13 demon generals were not a match for the middle-aged man in animal skin. These 13 powerful demon generals were all smashed to death by the human emperor with a stone stick in his hand. Even their primordial spirits could not escape. However, the Huanma knew the news in advance and actually underwent nirvana in advance. When the human emperor killed his way into the demonic hall, the Huanma had already disappeared. In the rear hall of the demonic hall, there was only an empty coffin. In the coffin, there was only a skull that had not completely melted after the Huanma Nirvana. The Huanma Nirvana seemed to have disappeared from this world. Even the human emperor could not sense its existence. And just when the human emperor was about to leave, he fell into the trap set by the Huanma Nirvana and was infected by the corpse poison of the demon ancestor. The corpse poison corroded his vitality and caused him to fake his death for countless years. Only today, when the demon hall underwent a drastic change, did the human race's sovereign awaken from his state of suspended animation. Ancient human emperor. Gu Fei was really shocked by the origin of this middle-aged man in animal skin. This person was actually a human supreme in ancient times. It was really unbelievable. Just as he was speaking, a layer of black chi suddenly appeared on the middle-aged man's face. Right at this moment, Gu Fei seemed to smell a trace of a fishy smell. After that, he felt a wave of dizziness and was practically unable to stand steadily, causing him to be greatly shocked. The middle-aged man in animal skin revealed a pained expression. Gu Fei could feel that the vitality in the middle-aged man's body that had just recovered not long ago was rapidly weakening. The originally bright eyes were once again shrouded by a layer of dead gray. Roar. The middle-aged man in animal skin roared. His voice was filled with unwillingness. The vitality in his body was being suppressed by the corpse poison. This is the fiend ancestor's corpse poison. Gu Fei was anxious and bewildered. The fiend ancestor was a supreme existence in the fiend race, and the fiends that had the qualifications to be called the fiend ancestor were all extremely ancient innate fiends that were born from the chaos. The demonic ancestor fell, his corpse rotting, turning into corpse poison. This type of corpse poison was incomparably terrifying. If it was allowed to explode, it would be enough to destroy a star with life. Even the sovereigns of the human race almost died in this devil hall after being infected by the corpse poison of the demonic ancestor. Let's go. I can't hold on much longer. The human sovereign roared. Senior human emperor, I have the essence blood of the immortal godly medicine. Perhaps it can cure the corpse poison in your body, Gu Fei said hurriedly. Then, a drop of blood bead emitting a faint fragrance flew out of his dantian. There were Tao patterns intertwining on the blood bead. It's really the essence blood of the immortal godly medicine. The human sovereign couldn't help but be incomparably shocked when he saw that drop of divine liquid. The immortal godly medicine was a life-saving item. Given its medicinal properties, suppressing the corpse poison of the demonic ancestor wasn't a difficult task. One must know that the essence blood of the immortal godly medicine contained an extremely powerful vitality. This vitality was the nemesis of death energy. The middle-aged man in animal skin directly swallowed the drop of immortal godly medicine's essence blood. Boom! The fire of life in his body was instantly reignited. Although it was just a drop of immortal godly medicine's essence blood, it was already sufficient. As the medicinal properties of the immortal godly medicine erupted, the human sovereign's body emitted traces of black qi. This was the corpse poison of the demonic ancestor that was being neutralized by the immortal godly medicine. Let's go. The human sovereign regained his consciousness. The death energy in his body was already suppressed by him. His eyes regained their vigor, gleaming with a bright light. They directly left the Devil Hall. The Devil Hall was collapsing, but the devil corpses didn't come out. Very swiftly, the entire hall turned into a pile of rubble as dust filled the air. In the center of the Devil Hall, a gigantic figure suddenly burst out from the ground. Clanging sounds rang out unceasingly as a great devil struggled to stand up. This was a great devil that was over 10,000 feet tall. His limbs were all chained up. Kill! The immortal godly medicine's essence blood in the human sovereign's body dissolved. He directly took a step forth and appeared before the great devil. Brandishing the stone cudgel in his hand, he smashed down on the great devil's head. Bang! The great devil waved both his hands, wanting to seal the immortal godly medicine. The two forces instantly clashed together, emitting a dull sound of impact. Boom! After receiving the human sovereign's cudgel, the great devil sunk down by a large amount. To actually be able to withstand the might of the human sovereign, this devil isn't simple. Gu Fei mumbled to himself. The strongest expert of the human race was known as the human sovereign. From this, one could very well imagine how powerful the human sovereign was. He really transformed into a true devil body? How is this possible? The human sovereign was shocked and enraged. The development of the situation had already exceeded his estimation. That Huanamo had truly succeeded. He was reborn from the dead and transformed into a true devil body. The unavoidable battle erupted. On the ruins of the Devil Hall, the human sovereign brandished his stone cudgel, fighting against the true devil body of Huanamo Roar. Huanamo roared in rage. The chains on his limbs clashed unceasingly, creating clanging sounds. On his gigantic devil body, ancient and profound devil runes could be faintly seen. This was the true devil body. Its physique was incomparably powerful. The ancient human sovereign was also extremely powerful. He could actually suppress that true devil. The stone cudgel in his hand continued to smash against Huanamo, causing the latter to bleed profusely. Even the true devil body couldn't withstand it. Jiang Xian, you actually didn't die. Huanamo was reborn. At this moment, he finally got what he wanted. He had successfully shed his acquired devil body and transformed into an incomparably powerful true devil body. You haven't died yet. How can I die? Zhang Renhuang was majestic. He was wearing a beast skin and holding a stone cudgel in his hand. He looked like a barbarian from the ancient times. Every time he raised his hand, every step he took, he could shake the entire world. He was ridiculously powerful. Bang! A muffled sound was heard. Demon blood splashed everywhere. The stone cudgel in Jiang Renhuang's hand fiercely smashed against Huan Mo's shoulder. Huan Mo's right hand immediately drooped down. His shoulder bone was directly smashed. Haha, don't waste your energy. You can't kill me. Huanamo laughed. At the same time, the wound on his right shoulder was healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. Very soon, the wound on his right shoulder was completely healed, as if it had never been injured in the first place. Undying devil body, Chapter 2169. The demonic palace was collapsing, turning into strands of extremely pure demonic qi that entered the body of the Huanma. Even the demonic qi outside the demonic palace was rushing towards the Huanma. The terrifying true demon body was constantly getting stronger, which shocked Gu Fei, who had retreated to the distance. The pressure from the Huanma was too great. Even the fire demon ancestor was nothing more than this. One should know that the fire demon ancestor was a Xiantian great demon, not something that ordinary Hotian demons could compare with. But now, the Huanma could actually stand shoulder to shoulder with a Xiantian great demon. It was unbelievable. Gu Fei discovered that the entire demonic palace was actually transformed by the Huanma. The demonic qi of the demonic palace was absorbed by the Huanma, and the dozen demonic shadows rushed out, closing in on him. Jiang Xin, you couldn't do anything to me in the past, and you still can't do anything to me now. The Huanma's divine sense spread out, and a demonic voice rang in Gu Fei's mind. This divine sense wasn't directed at human sovereign Jiang Xin. Human sovereign Jiang? Could it be the ancestor of the Jiang clan from the ancestral dragon star? Gu Fei was shocked. The ancient clans of the ancestral dragon star had produced a few earth-shattering figures in the past. Otherwise, these clans wouldn't have been able to survive until now. The competition in the world of cultivation had always been cruel. Some of the great clans that once shook the world had now completely declined, and even their legacies had been severed, disappearing in the long passage of time. On the other hand, some ancient factions continued to pass down their inheritance. Even in the darkest of times, they did not lose their inheritance. These clans could continue to exist because of their heritage. Clans that had produced human sovereigns and even supremes in the past had a deep heritage that was unimaginable to outsiders. Their ancestors must have left behind a backup plan. Just like the immortal mansion of the Buzhou ancestral star, their heritage was equally deep, and there was even an immortal Venerable sleeping in their ancestral court divine land. If it wasn't for their bad luck in encountering Gu Fei, their deep heritage would have definitely allowed them to make a comeback, or even return to the ancestral star of the Buzhou ancestral star. Unfortunately, they had encountered Gu Fei, and that was a tragedy. Of course, this was only Gu Fei's guess. Before it was confirmed, anything was possible. Huanma, you weren't my match back then, and you're even less so now. Zhang Renhuang was incomparably powerful. The power of that drop of immortal godly medicine from Gu Fei had unimaginably miraculous effects, completely restoring the vitality in Zhang Renhuang's body. However, the corpse poison of the evil ancestor was too terrifying. Just one strand of the corpse poison of the evil ancestor could kill all living creatures within 100,000 miles radius. The corpse poison of the evil ancestor in Zhang Renhuang's body was not completely neutralized by the immortal godly medicine. There was still poison remaining in Zhang Renhuang's body, and it was very difficult to remove it. It needed time, but there was no time for Zhang Renhuang to refine the remaining poison in his body. Kill. Without hesitation, Zhang Renhuang used the power of the Renhuang, which was comparable to the power of a supreme being. The powerful power crushed the sky and earth, and the endless demonic aura was dispersed. However, just as Zhang Renhuang used the power of the Renhuang, an extremely terrifying force came down from the depths of the boundless sky. Boom, boom, boom. Terrifying bolts of lightning that connected the sky and the earth suddenly appeared. The bolts of lightning interweaved into a gigantic electric net that enveloped Zhang Renhuang. What is going on? Even the Huanma was startled and hurriedly retreated. The vibration that came from the depths of the sky made even the Huanma's heart palpitate. This was a horrifying power that could not be defended against. He felt danger. Be asterisk starred. They really did it. Zhang Renhuang raised his head to look at the sky. It was as if the sun, the moon, and the stars were floating and sinking in his eyes. An extremely powerful Renhuang aura spread out from his body. God's punishment. Gu Fei sensed the extremely powerful vibration in the sky, and his expression changed. Without thinking, he retreated even further away. This kind of power could definitely kill saints. Even saints could not defend against this power, let alone Gu Fei. However, this destructive power that even saints were afraid of, when it landed on Zhang Renhuang, it could not hurt him at all. He really did it. This is against the natural order. Zhang Renhuang seemed to know something, and he was extremely shocked. Boom! 9 dazzling patterns rushed out from Zhang Renhuang's body. These were the Renhuang 9 patterns, 9 patterns that were infinitely close to perfection. The human sovereign's 9 Tao patterns sealed the 4 directions and created a world around Zhang Renhuang, a world that belonged only to Zhang Renhuang. In this space, Zhang Renhuang was the absolute ruler. Even the extremely powerful power in the depths of the sky could not sense Zhang Renhuang's existence. What? Witnessing this scene, Gu Fei was extremely shocked. How is this possible? Zhang Renhuang could use this method to seal himself so that the power in the depths of the sky could not sense his existence. Kill. After creating a space with the Renhuang 9 patterns and sealing his own aura, Zhang Renhuang directly charged towards the Huanma. The powerful Renhuang power poured out and shattered the space. Huanma's shock was no small matter. Zhang Renhuang could use the human sovereign's 9 Tao patterns to seal the void around him, making it difficult for the mighty force from the sky to approach him, but he didn't have such a method.
Run.
Without a choice, the Huanma could only run. He had just finished his nirvana and could not compete with a peerless warrior like Zhang Renhuang. Once Zhang Renhuang became serious, he would be in trouble. Rumble. Outside the space sealed by Zhang Renhuang's 9 patterns, billions of destructive lightning flashed. It was the destructive power that came from the sky. With this kind of power, even if a Saint King came, there would only be one result: to be destroyed in both body and soul. An endless amount of demonic qi gathered towards the Huanma. The huge pillar of demonic qi that came from the depths of the earth was quickly shrinking. Corpses floating in the demonic qi fell from the sky. It was hard to imagine how many people had been lured into the devil qi by this Huanma over the countless years, and how many people had lost their lives in vain. Countless corpses fell from the sky like it was raining. Most of them were from the human race, but there were also some huge corpses from other races. Damn! Seeing this scene, Zhang Renhuang was furious. The Huanma had killed countless creatures. Even if he were to be killed 10,000 times, it would not be enough. Zhang Renhuang chased after the Huanma directly, bringing along billions of destructive lightning. This scene shocked Gu Fei to the extreme. It was the first time he saw an existence that was not afraid of the power in the sky that was above the great Tao of the world.